110 degrees, and I like a subtlety as they 110 degrees, and I like a subtlety, and I stay high. 110 degrees, and I like a subtlety, and I stay high. That is so moderate, and I like it so way, and I stay high. In a world that's wicked, it's all about back, so baby. In a world that's wicked,
What kind of mayor calls a kid a fat ass? Come on, man.
This is why we're here tonight. For real. This is why we all came together. Bro, I need you to realize what we going through. No dumb motherfuckers.
Got testify and I'm just right my wits out. Got a long way to go to make it, praying for a miracle. I've been grinding for all of my life just to find me again. Got testify and I'm just right my wits out. Got a long way to go to make it, praying for a miracle. I've been grinding for all of my life just to find me again. Got testify and I'm just right my wits out.
Cheated against those who test my fake dumb. Feeling numb and I pick up a drug. And speaking of drugs, let me fill up your glasses. Watching the world spin, how long it lasts us. Life ain't sex and it ain't weed. It ain't about to check this guy's plan, it ain't me. And I'ma follow with a radiating light speed. Or the way that God's gates of full honesty. Modesty, got me living life like a musical odyssey. Prodigy, possibly, he playing all the odds of me. I almost got shot in them robberies. 9 months later than BZ did. You even took away one of JG's kids. Shed a little light that you got to give. Cause I'm wondering how you let me live. I got
a long way to go to make it, praying for a miracle. I've been grinding for all of my life just to find me again. Got testify and I'm just right my wits out. Got a long way to go to make it, praying for a miracle. I've been grinding for all of my life just to find me again. Got testify and I'm just right my wits out.
I sent among saints, look it up in the face some. Weaking the dawns and I'm speaking in tongues. And speaking in tongues, let me take off my glasses. Sipping on the bottom and the plain of molasses. Rocking the world and I could offer the axes. Practice of madness, judgment, imagine. If you had a hand for help, but them cards you dealt. Said a man up and do it yourself. I took time with a rhyme and a dime to sell. The design is felt like a Mona Lisa. Recently, decency was easily confused for weakness. He preaches to telekinesis. Knees is weak when I speak up. Then astral projected right through your speakers. He is the man amongst men, but still I got
a long way to go to make it, praying for a miracle. I've been grinding for all of my life just to find me again. Got testify and I'm just right my wits out. Got a long way to go to make it, praying for a miracle. I've been grinding for all of my life just to find me again. Got testify and I'm just right my wits out.
Tractor systems are offline.
Number one. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
No Outlet Live with your favorite hosts on the North Coast, Jeremy Tomesek and Jarrod Stover. The road to boredom ends here.
No outlet, but I need to charge my phone.
No Outlet Live.
Welcome back to another episode of No Outlet Live, the best live podcast broadcasted on the internet. I've been changing the phone systems a little bit so you could call us and leave us a voicemail.
Please call.
Leave us a voicemail, but whatever topic you could always feedback 216.
The drunker the better.
The drunker the better. 216-647-0064. We are presented by FlatHousePress.com and Guardian Roadside Solutions. I am your host, Jeremy Tomesek, accompanied by our man, Jarrod Stover.
What's up? I hit the wrong sample. It's cool.
So we got an excellent guest in for the show today. We have our buddy, Stephen Bires.
Yes. Look at me over there. There we go.
Now, I know
got
you.
to clap.
We are familiar with you,
Yes.
but this is a newer show from the last time I've actually seen you. And he is a musician. He has done music around the city for years. How long have you been making music?
Since early 90s, but as far as like anything people would see or performing out would be late 90s to about, I stopped around 2014, 15, when we were done with like probably, I've tried with Growl with the Badger, one of the last bands, but Sour Tao is probably the last little real shows that we played.
The last real shit you did was with me. It's cool.
Because I started. It was Growl with the Badger. It was going good, but we were starting to plan shows and stuff where we thought we had a pocket of songs enough to perform with, and then after that, we didn't perform at all.
I always thought it was like really weird for Growl with the Badger how you guys wrote, how you'd show me all like the little 7-bit that you guys would write out and then make the music to it. I thought it was cool. It was like different. I never seen anybody write like that. Like,
it was just like simple, easy, and catchy. Just try to. It's everything that's all been done before. I mean, we're not. It's not rocket science. I'm not like making. Oh, look what I created. No, these chords have been used for years, and as far as lyrics go, I'm awful. So whatever like comes to mind at the time.
I don't think you're awful. I mean, you've been making music for a few decades, and I played before the show a couple of the music videos. You and Jarrod had this band called Sour Tao. Now, when did that band start? How did you guys come across each other?
Well, Sour Tao, when Jarrod got in the band, it was probably in its 4th generation, I think, at that point.
Yeah, it was pretty far along.
4 or 5, because it was like Sour Tao started originally in 2002 with some, I was working at an electronics corporation, and
how many of the band members changed in the making of Sour Tao before it got to Jarrod?
Well, let's see. The original bass player was with Jarrod. He was the one that was like, when we started it back in 2002 with the first drummer. First drummer, Eric, he played along, and then we made our first album, and then he quit. He wanted to play Call of Duty. Was big back then. This is around 2003, 2004. We got Nikki into the band playing drums. And so it was just me, Jeremy, and Nikki, and just, 3-piece knit doing it. I have some of the shows from back then. We played like over here in Lakewood. We played at it was a sub shop over on Madison.
A sub shop, sub sandwiches?
Rockwood Sub Shop. Yeah, every Thursday the guy would we'd set up in the corner by the window, and he'd let us play every Thursday, and free subs and beer. And
that's how it all started. I wasn't there for that. That sounds fun though.
And then and just in and out of like Guerrilla Productions and Pay to Play and paying Peabody's. I mean, this is when it made the big move from down in the warehouse district downtown, where it actually came up to East 22nd, and into the back of the pizza shop, and that's where it's like, okay, now we got Peabody's, Pirates Cove, and that shithole, the Rockstar, that's all the way upstairs, the way it used to be. They'd be like, oh, if you just suck, if you sold like 2 tickets, we put you in the Rockstar. I'd be like, you get a chance to play.
I remember coming to your, I've come around your studios a couple of times, and you had really elaborate setups, and it looked like you did a lot of your own production, your own mixing, and you're also been going around filming for years and years and years.
My problem now, I was telling you guys before we started filming, my problem now is just getting rid of the stuff. I mean, I collect, I'm kind of like the hoarder of like video and all that stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, anybody wants to make a documentary, I wanted to start a documentary on the Cleveland band Boulder. And I'm trying to get like, it's like, hey man, who's got footage, who's got original, who remembers this, who was that, and who gives a shit. That's the other one, because it takes money, it takes time, it takes effort, and anybody wants to be involved. I want to be involved, sure. Because I have footage, I sit on stuff.
It's just wild that you have like I know that you have archives of stuff. I've seen you go through your stuff on computers.
Yeah, I mean, but those little terabyte drives, they're stacked up and sitting around, and like, I wanted to get a hold of Dan. It was like, hey man, I'll remix your whole album, like a 2023 version of like me mixing down this crap that I recorded back in like 2007 to me, because to me, it sounded like shit at the time. I was like, God, I just wanted to give them justice, and then I play that stuff back now, and it's like, God, I could have mixed this so much better. God, I could have listened so much better.
I do that because I'm one of them people.
You got to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
But I didn't listen, because it was like, okay, you mixed all this shit down to like headphones, which really doesn't work. You need to actually get yourself a good pair of mixing monitors. and make it work for you. And okay, say you do get the equipment, play some music through it. Listen to your equipment first.
Right. Yeah,
See
get
what
a good
does.
feel for it. Yeah.
See what it does. I did do that with my compressor. So over the years, I was just like trying to get people over to put an album together or play and everything. That's just like, I might as well get a bullwhip out and hit my friends.
But when did
When
did all of this start with you personally? When did you get a fascination for making music and then going as far as you're speaking you have?
It was in 1992. I just graduated high school. And
Damn.
my brother's friend, Steven.
I was 2 years old when you started this.
Yeah, I was like 18, and I was playing guitar. I mean, I took guitar lessons. My grandmother got me guitar lessons from this guy that she met through a teacher from... I was in different schools when I was a younger kid, so it's a Catholic school for 1 year. Because Catholic school kind of sucked because... Well, you had to wear the tie and you had to dress up and everything. It's just like the teachers didn't take no shit from kids. They would smack you and they would throw you in this like closet and close the door on you.
Back when America was great.
Yeah, this is back when they, okay, we're talking, great. Right, this is like 80, 3, 84, whatever. This is when, they had to teach you, they didn't have Ritalin or any kind of crazy drugs for kids like they do today.
Yeah, that didn't come till the 90s.
They didn't understand what's wrong with this kid. He's really high strung, high IQ, but he just
You're
doesn't
one
want
of
to
them
fucking
crazy
listen.
kids, huh?
Well, yeah, you could say
Always.
crazy, but I didn't want to I wasn't like psychotic or like, hey man, look at me and jump off with shit. I remember one kid, we were fighting because I was in SBH classes, student behavioral handicap. They have a different name for it now. It's not LD
What?
or anything. It was called student behavioral handicap. So okay, let's just say, my parents, we moved around like early when I was like a young kid. We went around. Since I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh no,
Nice.
that's who we play on Monday.
Yeah,
You're
nice.
the enemy.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
so-
big shout out to the Cleveland Browns on your big win against Joe Burrow.
Okay, well, I don't even speak sports. My brother's probably watching this right now. Go, why don't you just tell him what the fuck? You'll get my brother on here and he'll tell you anything you really want to know.
Any stat, like
Anything,
got it?
anybody,
Hell yeah.
anything. He's got that down. I got that down maybe for skateboarders,
Right.
Because I never stopped skateboarding.
I know you do too.
I mean, I get handed to my brother. He got me into skateboarding. Everything that like my brother. Everybody steals your like brother's cassettes. Like, oh fuck, punk music. Here we go. Naked Raygun. Fuck, here we go. This is all I want to listen to.
So where else did you move outside of Pittsburgh?
Well, I was born in McKeesport, Pennsylvania, and then we lived in Irwin for a few years. And then my dad was an electrical engineer, so he got shipped around different places because at the time.
Your dad was following a job, so you moved
Kind of.
around
It was
places.
pouring glass, if it makes any sense. Like, the dishes and the shit. If you remember, everybody has like the flour gold dishes and they're
Yeah.
like ceramic. Corning glass at the time was figuring out ways to go from coke gas smelting, which was like, taking, minerals and coal and this coke gas that they used to use, and that's what they used to get their furnaces really hot to melt glass. It smelled like hell. Guys were dying on it, and it was horrible for the environment. He was the first guy that like pioneered the step starters for electrical to run big old electrical coils on these pots, kind of like what we did at our electrical place.
Yeah.
These big vats full of glass. They figured out ways to run these big vats full of glass when heating them up with electricity, which is way cleaner,
Wow,
way
this
better.
is crazy. Your dad sounds like a smart guy.
Well, yeah,
He was the Tesla of his generation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because it was all like, this is all electrical, the high voltage engineering shit. Well, in other words, it's like, say you have like all these big vats and you change them over to electrical. They have to be able to heat up in a certain way. You can't just like, just full blast, turn them all on at once. You'll just
so
blow
you
everything.
put like timing.
These are all
stuff.
timers and step starters, a little bit of heat on this one, a little bit of heat on this one, a little bit of heat on this one, and all that shit to keep the electrical grid down, make sure your power consumption is down. He was kind of like, a numberhead. Fucking crazy math guy that would just like, especially when I would do my homework when I was a little kid, and he'd come by and he'd just be like, Jesus Christ, you don't understand this. What the fuck is the matter with you? He would
We all had fathers like that.
Yeah, he would see it as like, this is so fucking easy. Why don't you get this?
Right.
And I'm like,
So you moved around a lot with him chasing, following his projects.
Sure,
and
and
stuff
then we
with his
ended
job.
up in Pascagoula, Mississippi, and this is probably around 76, 77, and then...
Damn.
Yeah, and because I was born in 74. So this is around 77, 78, and then, he's moving around with this company, Corning Glass, we bought a house down there and everything. My mom's just picking up and taking us where we're going, You know what I mean? We're just, my brother, he was a couple years older than me, my brother. So I was always like, anywhere we went, he was my first friend because he was the only person I recognized around because we met new people. But then in, I think it was, I'm going to get my dates wrong. Fuck. 78 to 81, we moved to Greenville, Ohio, which is like 2 miles, I think, south of Dayton.
Yeah,
all right,
right outside of
perfectly flat, nothing. We had the goddamn, we had a first floor. There's no basements. They were just slabs. And you could jump up on the roof because the antennas that we had, back in the day, they had the big antennas because you could just see them. Every house had one. Ours was close enough to the house that you could climb up it and stand on the fucking roof. And it's only a first one floor house. I forgot the name of them, you know what I mean? But it was just like a slab, a house with the driveway.
My grandma's house when I was a little kid had them antennas outside that we would climb.
So I'm like 5 years old and I'm fucking climbing on the roof with my brother. And the thing was, when you got on the roof or climbed the antenna to see, all you saw for miles was flat and houses and antennas. It was just flat nothing. So
there was no concave?
No, not really. Obviously, I'm not a flat earther or anything. You get into that fucking shit.
That's where I was going.
No, I've done far enough right now. I don't even understand people when they say that stuff. It's just like, what?
So at this time, you're moving around and you're younger and you're you're getting hip to like music and stuff. What was your music when you were that captured you?
Look, there's a couple things that were just like that would probably get me, but it wasn't until like we finally moved to where here up in Cleveland, in Macedonia, in '81.
Nice.
We moved here, and right away like. Okay, I'm still following my brother for everything that he's doing. We're into the standard stuff. He was into Kiss. I got into Kiss.
My mom was huge into Kiss.
Yeah. In fact, I ended up getting all my brother's Kiss records like later in life because he's a fucking record player. I can't play that stuff. So it's like whatever.
James Simmons is still out kicking and pushing. Yeah. He's doing his thing still.
If you listen to it, I mean, it was for the times it was incredible. But you listen to it now, it's like
I just feel like it's the ICP of hair metal.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah. And I always felt like by the time I came along for Kiss, when that was like a thing, like I was introduced to, I was like, this is kind of cheesy.
But it was basic, it was genius, and it was like people caught on.
It was genius. I mean, it still lives today.
And like he said, for its time, it was awesome because there was nothing else like it.
Nothing else
That's
like
why it was like a big draw,
Well, now that everything is saturated and everything else, people just look at stuff and go, yeah, great idea.
Yeah, there's just
what
too
else
much.
was catching you and making you like interested in music in a big way?
Oh, well, okay. Movies. I was always influenced in movies. It's
movies?
It's a hidden communication that I had between me and my brother. Bad, shitty, fucking cheesy movies. Because I grew up on like...
Had like good music?
Well, okay. My
good
dad...
music, shitty movies.
My father, being the engineer and being the genius that he was, God bless his soul. He died in 2016. But what he left for... The legacy that he left for his children, was just like... We had, cable at a young age, early. I mean, like in the fucking late 70s where you had box.
Cable for sure. I had a lot of people complain to me like, oh, you had money when you were younger, but I had a lot of cable.
Okay, but you're in your 30s now, right? I mean,
yeah, I'm 33. I just turned 33 in July.
Okay, you have to understand. It was the wood grain fucking box with the one knob on the front. It would just click.
Yeah.
Dude, my uncles paid the guy to put like this chip into our cable box, and we got all of the channels. We had Showtime and porn.
Right. Yeah, you all got those from that era.
Well, we also had the same fathers that were just like, okay, the electrical engineer, the genius, but it's just like also the like. Oh God, it's not.
Dude,
like,
I remember in the '90s we would bootleg VHS tapes.
Yes, okay, that's where I was getting. Not borderline thief, but definitely like we did the thing where right when VHS tapes came into the thing, my old band bought a VCP.
Exactly.
And every tape that came into our house, copied it.
Yep.
We always had a blank no matter what to copy it. And then there was Macrovision days where like, they make it so you can't copy it anymore. My old man bought this.
Oh, that's when they would fuck up your copy.
Yeah. The first ones were like Back to the Future had Macrovision. You could still.
Is that what that's called? Okay. I was just recently talking to somebody about this, and I couldn't think of what it was.
It's a frequency doubler. It just automatically knows that when it's playing it onto something else, it knows that like, that's not a screen, that's another tape, another recorder or something, and it would mess your screen up.
Was it like cassette tapes though, where you just put the tape over the little hole?
Oh no, just no. That was cassettes you could tape all day. That was easy. I'm talking about like actual video cassettes. No, there was ways around this where it was like my old man came up with this one day. He had this like box with a little antenna on it, and he had the VCP upstairs in like the kitchen. And you put the tape in there, and it would broadcast it through the air to downstairs to the TV,
Stop
to the VCR.
it.
No, it's like the first
early
Bluetooth.
Wi-Fi.
Right.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and you program it to one of the channels on the VCR, so it would just record like you're recording a channel on your fucking TV, and it would record the movie.
That's awesome. I didn't know they had that
You know what I
technology.
mean? Yeah,
back then.
I mean,
That's
he
insane.
figured out shit ways. I'm just like, oh, that's even better. Because then when we first got our first Powell Peralta tape, the neighborhood kid bought it, and I think the first one we bought. Was
Jared, you're right. That is like a Bluetooth airplaning video or whatever.
Right. Yeah. The first one I saw was Future Primitive. They had already come up with Bones Brigade Video Show, but I didn't get to see that one. I saw first was like Future Primitive. It was awesome. And I was just like, oh, and then the pool skating in slow motion with Tony Hawk. And then Mike goes like, that's gnarly. That shit fucking saved me. I was like,
it was. Dude.
I can watch it now, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to fucking go skate right now.
Yes,
this is so
that was
awesome.
gnarly.
Yeah, that's gnarly. Yeah, because
I remember that, dude.
Slow
That's
motion. Yeah, dude, I was so set off. And, I was just like, dude, when Cab goes over and he does that Smith grind, he's hanging on the diving board and his feet are hanging.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen the photos of like Stacy with like, he has this big ass fucking camera with like a whole entire, like even bigger than a VHS tape, whatever, like filming him back in the day.
So
just to
this
get that
like
footage.
the skater stuff really was a big influencer on home video stuff.
Absolutely.
They self-recorded everything.
Absolutely.
So this tied into your music thing.
Sure. Because my old man, not so much. When we were. Let's see, like probably like
Man,
late.
you're old as fuck, so like
I know, but late 70s late 70s to
anything.
early 80s, he had an 8mm camera that you can, and it gave you 4 minutes of actual like footage of like I didn't bring the home movies, we didn't get into that, but it's just like. And it's
but
mostly,
you were like skating at an early time of skateboarding. The skateboards are even shaped all goofy when you started. I could imagine.
It was 1985 when I started skateboarding. My brother, through like music and his friend Christian up the street or whatever, they was just like, oh man, fuck, you guys skateboard, I'm gonna get skateboard. So my brother's first board was a freeformer. It was camouflage, had black rails. I think it had black trucks. It was like I saw that and I was like, that thing looks like a weapon. That thing's awesome. I want one. Like, I want to fucking skate.
It looks like a weapon.
Yeah.
Like you were ready to beat somebody with it before you were ready to skate.
Shouts out to Justin for fucking, it looks like a knife, just not sharp.
Oh, nice.
That's Justin's line, just like skateboard. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, the first time I met you, I remember this. Jarrod brought me over after you guys had did a show I heard about. You guys performed you guys gave everybody like Chipotle burritos or some shit at some show you guys did.
Something just to get people to actually like come up and say, hey,
But I came to your house and you had a half pipe in it, and I was like, whoa, this dude's for real about some skateboarding.
Yeah, and that's later in life too. That was just like I was getting, kind of
half pipe in the house is a bold move.
In the living room, nonetheless. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't in the house. It was in the living room.
That ramp was fit in 4 different houses. It started in the video. If you watch the actual the Sour Tao video, that's the first house it started in.
Yeah.
That family room with the fucking chimney right there and everything.
And I love that video when you're on the skateboard and playing the guitar, like on the half pipe. When
Yeah,
you're playing drums in the back.
Obviously you
and,
can see I'm not plugged in, and I'm just doing some kick turns just to try to get the shot. Because good luck even trying to play or whatever when
I
I'm
was
trying to do
impressed.
that.
And if you watch the video, the whole time I'm playing drums, I'm going like this and just following you. Like, dude, is this dude serious? Like, this is awesome.
I wanted to get the shot. Yeah,
that was definitely a highlight.
For a while there, if you watch like kind of like that, the way that goes, and when we'll go down that route. We'll talk about like Sour Tao days and like the 4th generation, but. To get it all started, because you wanted to start it out early, and I want to talk about like my childhood and shit like that. The old man was always about like filming our stuff with 8mm camera up until I was like 5. I have my birthday at McDonald's, like my 5th birthday at McDonald's, which is great because you used to be able to like have it at McDonald's. Then people would come out and make you a cake.
Yeah,
an actual McDonald's
they
cake.
all had play places.
Yeah, everybody had like got a Happy Meal with a fucking balloon.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And it's like, okay, it's got like the standard stuff that you would see on home movies.
I'd be happy if that was my birthday today. No lie, like that sounds awesome.
The standard stuff that you would see on home movies, though, it would be like baseball outside playing with the kids, me riding my bike.
Yeah.
Or riding my first like 2-wheel bike or jumping on and everything. And it's just like the standard, like, oh well, okay, this is home movies and stuff. Bring a tear to my eye. It's awesome. It's good to have. And then you have the seedy little parts of it too, where it's just like, who the hell's that guy? And some dude just comes into town. He's sitting there just talking to my mom. My dad's like filming him for some reason. Who is that guy?
Man, going through all these stages of like seeing tech and how it's gone. How do you feel about like today?
Oh, okay. When you have a different understanding, because now I took those 8mm films. I found when my dad died and everything, he wouldn't let me touch that shit. No matter what, 3 years, he wouldn't let me touch any of it. He was just like, no, we have to take it to a professional. It'll just crumble. So once he was dead, it was like, look, man, we're never going to be able to watch this stuff unless I do something about this. So I took it upon myself. I took the shit home, and I laid luckily. The old man at the time, you got to remember, these 8mm cameras were only 4 minutes. You had 4 minutes of, click, click. And sometimes you click some stuff like Christmas and da-da-da, and you put it in a case, close it all up, and put it away. And then you click some more shit on it. So it would jump around. So time jumps on it like fucking crazy. Like, sometimes it was like, oh, wow, okay. Towards the end of it, we were in, right when Epcot opened, he took us to Disney World in 1984. Yeah, Epcot. Yeah, we went to Disney World, okay, but we had Epcot like for a couple days also, and it was the monorail, all that shit was like brand new. It was like holy crap. He's filming the water jumping and all that stuff and everything, and like some of this footage might be good someday or something. It was like nobody's filmed this before. Niagara Falls, he took us there in like '83. It's all on this footage, so there is times when you had the camera out. Now, as far as like skateboarding, let's go right into it. As far as like 1985, I saw my brother's board. I want that board. I was like, I want a board. I want I want a board. And I think he had it like 2 days, and finally I'm begging my dad.
Was it like shaped like a fish? One of the
oh yeah,
skateboards?
Fucking full on fish. It was it was a titty cloud. It was fucking like huge, man. It had a tail, no nose, just completely flat,
like
no
a
concave.
stupid 80s skateboard.
You ever see Dogtown and the Z Boys?
Yeah. It was
that.
just we're talking 1980s, right? But my dad took me to Kmart. And he got me a Valterra gin. It was like the genie, but it was the gin version.
You didn't buy a Peralta?
Like no,
Traitor.
No, this is 1985. I didn't even know who Paul Peralta was. I didn't know anything yet. I was like, I just want to roll. I just want a fucking board.
Hell yeah.
So he bought me and Valterra fucking picked up huge in like 1985 because of Back to the Future. That Valterra that fucking Marty, McFly had.
Is that like the flying board or whatever he had?
Yeah, no, it's not. No, it's the real skateboard
the one
that he was riding.
In the intro where he like grabs the Jeep or whatever and he's riding through. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's a fucking Valterra. And they'd look at it. There's like film stops of him like holding it by the trunk and going like this and everything. You could see it says Valterra and this yellow like spot on it.
Oh yeah.
I had the gin one. It had this like purple, or he was a pink guy on it. I actually went on eBay and found this board. Somebody's like used like an original gin, and I was like, fuck what he wanted for it. It was like $200 or something. Just like no, dude.
$200 in 1984 is fucking
I know,
$1 million now.
85. I'm
85,
saying like, yeah, like wow.
Dude, there's got to be at least like 50 arcade trips.
Yeah, true. But it was like, that thing, I skated a little bit pissed. I skated until the wheels were like coned. Like, they looked like fucking ice cream cone fucking things on the side. I beat the living piss out of it.
Nice.
Finally, for my first actual like pro board, we went to Eddie's Bike Shop in Stowe, I believe it was. I mean, the fucking place I think is even still there. I think it is. It was a house at the time. And then it was like a junkyard and a house and everything. And it just, you could go down the street and you can go to like Marty's Bike Shop, but Eddie's Bike Shop, because in the 80s, there wasn't skate shops. You couldn't just buy shit like, oh man.
Even in the early 90s, it was like that. Yeah. Just bike shops.
Yeah, just bike shops had skate equipment. So, but inside somewhere, like you go into a bike shop and it smelled like rubber and it's just like bikes. It was like, oh, they got some boards on the wall and shit, right? I was like, fuck, I want a real board. I want to get a real one. I bought a Jeff Kendall Santa Cruz. It's the one with the it's got the earth and it's got the hands that grip around it. So, it looks, like ended earth. It's like being pulled apart. It's got Jeff Kendall.
You're talking about underneath the deck where
this is the deck. This is the graphics on the
is.
deck. Yeah, it looks like a fucking fish. Got a big old, big wide tail and everything. My brother got me one a couple years ago for Christmas. He got me the exact reissue. I believe it was last year or the year before. It's an exact reissue shape and model and everything from Santa Cruz because they reissued. It just so happens that...
not to shy away from the story you were just at,
I'm getting there.
But Jarrod was just telling me this earlier. You're semi-pro.
No, I didn't say that. I was joking. When I said that, I was joking.
Semi-pro bullshit.
Yeah. That's funny. No. I gave you false information, but I was seriously just joking.
Dude's pro bullshitter. That's about it. I got it right there.
He's got a pro on that. Not even semi.
I got it.
That's funny that you said that though, because I said that just joking.
Hell no.
What did I say? I forget the joke that I said.
I fucked myself up years ago. Like once that bug started with skateboarding and my brother and all that, we would go everywhere and go skate. And I'd always try to tag along. This is about the time when my brother was 16. He was getting a car and driving around, and my first board was at Jeff Kendall, and then from there it hasn't stopped. It's been like just.
You still skate today?
Yeah. I got like 2 boards in the car right now.
Man,
one in
dude,
every
you're a
vehicle.
lifetime skater.
Yeah.
You're really
What
down.
I still have that ramp. It's on the side of my house now.
Is it built though?
Yeah, it's
okay.
Come over and
You
ride it.
put
It's
back
rough.
up? I can't. But...
It's like riding that sound fucking shit you got hanging on the wall back there. That's what it looks like. It's like
oh, nice.
You can pump on
do
it.
You still follow the X Games?
Yeah. When stuff comes on TV, I still watch the Bires.
Them girls from the Asian countries have been
Oh god,
coming out and
fucking
murdering.
Oh my
stuff.
god, dude. Like, okay, I still watch the 9 Club, and I still watch Hawk vs. Wolf. You know, Tony Hawk and Jason Ellis. I mean, you got to watch that. Ellis to me is the new Jeff Grosso, because Grosso to me was like everything he said was Bible. Everything that came out, and they had that Grosso to Love Letters was on the Vans channel, and everything the guy said was pretty much that's what it was like growing up in the fucking 80s skateboarding. And in the early 90s when skateboarding fucking died.
Like what? I'm not familiar with this. What was he saying?
Okay, it went like this. Okay, it's just like, it's probably like 86, 87. 86, 87, we built a ramp in our yard. My parents allowed this. We were like, we're going to build a fucking vert ramp in our fucking yard, right in Macedonia. Right there. We were the first people to have one. A lot of people drive by and they just sit there in their car and look at it and go, what the fuck is that? And they didn't know what, they really, honestly, they did not honestly know what that was. They're like, okay, no, it's like, oh, they see us out there with our skateboards, and they're just like, what is the point or the purpose of this? You know, neighbors would say it and stuff like that. And they just let it go, like, yeah, whatever. But they noticed, like, more and more neighbor kids would be coming over and just watching us kick turn on this ramp. It's basically it's a pendulum. It's a clock. It's like back and forth, just back and forth. It's like watching tennis upside down. You know what I mean? You sit there all day. And that's what we try to do. Even if you're trying to hone a trick or if you're trying to do something, it all started with just like pumping back and forth and feeling the ramp. And once you were done feeling the ramp, it'd be like, okay, now I'm going to either try this or not. You'd be egging your friends. You'd be sitting there on the deck like, dude, try it. You say you're going to fucking try it. You're sitting there all day talking about you want to do it. You're sleeping about it. Do it. Do it. I remember when we were building the ramp, before we even we had the first layer on it. I dropped in on it. Didn't even have a deck. Didn't have anything on it. I'm already up there like balancing on a 2x4. I'm so stoked. Like, fuck, I almost want to drop in. You know what I mean? First drop in. Got my thing up there, man. Fucking boom. Dropped right in.
That's wild. So you've really been into like the skating thing forever, and you've also kept up with your music. You have a new band or anything? What are you working on now?
I have tons of like little side projects and bands, that would be like, oh wow, if you took that down the road or did something with it or showed it off, it'd be great. I filmed some video projects that never got off the hard drive. In fact, like I never edited it. Like we did one like
you brought me something that you were willing to show.
Yeah, I got like last week of us just sitting in the basement. Like, okay, when you say like, oh, I turned my entire house that I'm living in now, and God bless my wife's soul, because she, let me actually like have the entire basement to, play music down there loud.
That's why she's your wife, probably.
So put up enough wood and insulation down there and cover all. I used to have 4 windows in my basement.
How long have you been married?
This was our anniversary, our 1 year, but we've been together for like 6, 7.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Since before the stroke, they were together. Like, or since a little bit after, I think.
Yeah, a little bit after, right there, probably about the same time. You know what I mean? Because they're like, like worlds fell apart around the time, and it was just like a complete reset, start over. In fact, like once everything like fell apart with Jeremy, we were supposed to play a show the night you had your stroke.
Yep. I remember that.
We were planning to play the Outpost, I believe. I think, and I remember because the owner was like, "Oh shit, gee whiz, like we really wanted you to fucking play."
Right.
So,
well, I remember that.
Gee whiz.
I remember the morning all of that's happening. I'm like, oh, I got a show. I'll be fine. This will be cool. I can still play that.
Yeah, and then that, like on top of everything. So it was just like I was just getting stacked up with bad shit right on top of it. So, on top of everything else, it's like not like I used it as an excuse of your bad shit, but, we hung out a lot. I was just like, fuck. I went to the hospital to see him, and, I brought you dubs in a plastic thing, and I was like, dude, we're gonna go out on the roof or we're gonna go outside or something. Yep. And dude, what happened to your jar? It was a plastic jar of it was like these fake lightning bugs that were in it.
Oh, that's in Starla's room right now. I'll keep that forever.
No
dude. I
shit.
thought that was cool.
God,
that like
so awesome.
You were the only one who really like brought me anything of like significance. You were like, dude, I got this for you. So I always kept that.
I went to
dude,
Walmart. I got him a toy. I was not really a toy, but it's like enough that and it's like if you shake it or move it or whatever, it's got I don't know. Did you ever change the batteries? That thing's from like.
No, I didn't have
Fucking
to.
years
It's
ago.
still
Yeah.
going strong.
It just looks like somebody collected and it's a mason jar. It looks like somebody collected a bunch of fireflies.
Yeah,
and
just
put
like a jar of fake fireflies. It's
you know
cool.
what I mean? It was probably a cheesy card or something too. I don't remember, but I smuggled my ass into that place.
But you were the only one to ever do that, and everybody else is just kind of like whatever.
Showed
you know
up
what I'm
just
saying?
like,
Like,
"Hey,
yeah,
alright,
I
fuck."
brought drugs, but
Yeah,
you know, like, I'm like, all right,
Brought
like,
you
I don't
drugs
need any
and
more of those.
left you drugs. You
Yes.
know, like this was intended for you.
Yes.
You know?
Although I will say, the first time that I smoked weed, him and my friend Dame and all them came down to see me, and they were rolling me on a wheelchair, and like there was a cop, and they were all paranoid, and I was just like, whatever, dude, I'm in a fucking wheelchair. What do I care? Roll me right past that motherfucker. They're like, no, we gotta go.
We gotta go.
Yeah, and then I remember like sitting, like, because I didn't know what weed was gonna do to me at that point, so I sat there high as fuck, like all paranoid, like, I think I might die again.
Oh my god!
I don't know.
Hell no. I know. I wasn't trying to kill you. I was there for you as a friend. Of just
For sure.
like moral support and everything else, man. It just.
Oh yeah,
you know?
that's why I kept that shit. I was like, dude, that's sentimental to me at some point. You know what I'm saying?
true.
Like, I'm not gonna throw that away.
But yeah, I feel like
This is all allegedly, by the way.
Oh yeah. Oh, we forgot to do the fucking
No, all
disclaimer
the-
in the beginning. I was just like, everything it says here is just
For
like
me-
the absolute shit. This is hearsay. You know?
For me, it's not. All the drug use was true, and I did more than probably anybody. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh my God. We have to talk about like fucking. Okay. Here's a good one. This one's fucking fat. You were probably there too, because his Stover throws a fucking party at his house, right?
I was definitely I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is at the house in
Walton Hills.
Walton
right?
Hills. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly. Right. And I got
Walton
there.
Hills parties were sweet.
I got there early and I'm parked deep. Like I'm saying that thing's blocked the fuck in the driveway, like fucking 8-9 cars, right? And then the cars are going up the street. Lo and behold, the fucking police show up. Okay,
They did all the time.
I'm freaking out because I just came from getting like a fucking ounce or something, right? I had a lot of weed. I remember I had a lot of weed on me. I smelled like hell. The car smelled. I just remember I'm just like, and I'm going here. I'm just like, Jarrod, man. It's like, dude, I can't fucking be here, man. Then like a fight broke out. The fucking cops came again.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh my God. And I'm like trying to like, who the fuck car is this? Who the car is this? And I'm out there like, I look like Austin Powers, like reverse.
Yeah, like
reverse.
Dude, but the crazy part about that is like, the cops were there so much, like,
Yeah.
we weren't even worried about it. You were like,
Yeah.
I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta get the bag.
You
And
were-
I'm like, no, you don't.
No.
Like, just chill.
He calls me the next day. He's like, "Oh, they were here like 3 more fucking times, man."
Oh, yeah.
that was like chill.
They
when you were
hated
here.
us out there.
That was chill when you were there. You should have
Well,
seen when the real fight broke out. Or
look,
it was in the street.
One time, the cops show up, and Jeremy's sitting in the car with our friend.
Yeah.
And he gets paranoid and books it through the woods and calls his dad to come get him. I'm like, dude, you didn't have to leave. Like, it's cool. Like,
the fucking Walton
the
Hills,
cops are there
man.
so much. Like,
No,
I did not.
because I actually had something on me that was felonious.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
we all do.
And
Who
so
gives a
did
fuck
I.
about the cops anyway?
And so did I, which is a big old fucking
I
like
don't-
bag of reefer.
I don't
that
roll
was-
like
I
that
didn't
no
want
more.
anybody. I didn't want no cop to have. I don't care if it was felonious or like.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to give this away.
Yeah.
I don't want to get taxed.
This is not happening tonight. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna smoke. I'm gonna be good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I did bust a move through the woods.
Yeah.
I remember that night.
Because I thought you were
I
such a
ended
bitch
up-
for that. Seriously, I was
It
like,
just
why'd
so
you even roll?
happens that I was just. I was there though, man. I was there for like hours and shit. We were having a good time. We were playing music.
Yeah.
I was there. I was mingling, and it just I don't know, paranoia just got me right there. I couldn't take it. The second
happens to
time,
all
the second
smokers.
time the police were there, I'm like, fuck this.
Dude,
Fuck this,
at
dude. I
one-
gotta go.
at one
Yeah,
point,
right.
I remember
Went through this
living
twice.
there. When I was living there
Oh,
at one
shit.
point, I worked in Solon, I believe,
Okay,
and I
yeah.
had to walk home one night.
You
And,
worked where he worked. What are you talking about? That's where
he-
you walked home from every day.
Yeah.
That's how I know punk rock Steve.
Yeah,
From
the waxer. Yeah,
the waxer.
yeah,
He calls it that, but it's not.
yeah.
That was
so.
the waxer. I never did a wax job.
Except
We're
whacked off
waxing
dudes,
everybody's
probably.
paycheck. So as far as
No,
like,
when I was a whacker.
yeah, you got it. You got it now.
No, at coax.
Yeah,
Coax.
Yep.
yeah. That's where we all.
That's where I met him.
Yeah, that's where we all met. That's where everybody. It's just like that's where I
Dude,
met. him.
I barely remember coax.
Yeah. Yeah, you were there too.
I remember
crazy.
standing on that line, throwing them fucking stupid computer chips through that shit all day. Like,
Yeah, I mean building
Yeah.
electronics. Yeah, because I was there forever. I was like, I started there in like '98.
Yeah, you were a lifer for sure. When I got there, they were already like, "This is the man right here. He's running shit."
Done it, over it, and just kind of like, you know,
right.
Whatever.
Even at one time, weren't you building shit for like the Mars? Like,
no, I wasn't Mars. Goodyear.
I remember
definitely.
that.
Yeah.
I barely remember that. They said we were putting some chip in some thing that's going to Mars.
And he was sitting in the corner just designing that shit.
This was a piece of something that went to a piece of something that might be go into a Mars.
Yeah, but you could still call it that. Let's be real.
You're just like,
it was like a blender. That's what we made.
Yeah, like we made all blenders.
Specialized in motor controls is what they do. It's what anything that had a motor in it. It doesn't matter. I mean, blenders are one of them.
Yeah.
You know, Vitamix and all.
You
that.
got you a Vitamix. We probably touched it.
You know what I mean? But
for sure, bro.
I don't know if you wanted it anymore, but we did.
Yeah. I mean, I put a lot of years into the company, and just, you know, it's just like any job. You get up, you work it, you do it, and just whatever.
Right.
Know?
And live fat.
So since them days, I remember I was walking home the one day, and the Walton Hills Police. It was a cold night, and I had on my Red Wings jacket, and I remember I was crossing the street, and like 10 cops pulled up on me, and they're like, "Why you walking the streets out here?" I'm like, "I'm walking home from work. What are you talking about?"
Walker. Oh yeah, what they do? They
so that night when I ran, I was experiencing all these things from just Walton Hills Police in general, because I was always out there walking. They don't even have sidewalks. So I'm like, "Where are you supposed to walk? What the fuck? I wasn't riding the bus out here."
Yeah, right. Like, fuck them cops. Like, they put me in the back of the cop car, and my sister came out, and I wouldn't tell them who I was. And I was yelling from the back of the cop car, like, "Don't tell these motherfuckers nothing. They don't even know. They ain't even supposed to be here." All that shit like that.
Yeah, that's my brother.
And then they let me go. Like, after I did all that.
Don't tell nothing.
I was like, "You don't fucking talk." Like,
yeah, good times. And then, okay, I'm not gonna fast forward. We'll keep it where it was. And then, you know, obviously, my brother got me into skateboarding, and everything he was doing, he'd take me, and I would, you know, I'd jump in the backseat of his car if he was going skating with his buddies. It was big, but we had a ramp in our yard from '86, '87, '88. It started like every year we'd put a new piece on it, or we'd have to replag. Because this is fucking obviously it's Ohio. It would rain on it. They would get wavy. It would get weird. We cut the vert off it one year and made it like a miniature ramp. Then we cut the next year. We cut even more off of it and made it a mini because people were getting tossed up on the fucking thing because it was really steep.
What do you mean tossed up?
In other words, it's like for the amount of transition that we had too much vert. We went really steep really quick. In other words, we didn't have enough transition. This was all like at the times that we didn't know how to really build the stuff.
He's sciencing you
know
right
what I mean?
now.
Yeah, we really didn't know how to build transitions properly to make it fluid so you can get a good solid pump to the wall. So usually when you dropped in, if you didn't like kick turn properly or know when it was coming, you could smack struck and your face would go right into the vert wall because
I used to skate on streets. I never did it on ramps because I am scared of them.
Yeah.
I won't be able to do that.
Well, this was late '80s where it was like if you wanted to skateboarding was vert. It was all vert oriented, ramps and jump ramps and shit like that. So that's why my knees are absolutely shot because of jump ramps. We'd build a jump ramp and put it in the street. You know, and it's like game on, you know, when you see like Waynesboro where they pull the fucking net out of the way and the cars go by. It was like that with our fucking jump ramp, man. We were like having it out in the street.
You had all the chicks wrecking their bikes into cars trying to watch you and shit.
My mom pouring Kool-Aid for all the fucking kids, and it was just like that was the community. Everybody wanted to know where to go or where to be. We lived on the corner in Macedonia, so it was like everybody went there. I remember one time our garage door was rotting and falling apart because that was back when the garage doors were made out of wood. So my old man had a brand new one put in. It was all like nice and metal. The day it was fucking put in, the guys were like, "Hey, it's done," and they're leaving the day. It was brand new. We had some kind of session in the driveway, and our friend's board backtail his board. He lost his board. It went shoot, and it rocketed right in the bottom panel of the door.
Damn.
And fucking stuck in it.
You got
like,
your ass
boom,
whooped, huh?
Like brand new. Oh my god, the old man was flipping out. He's like, "Oh, fucking brand new door." Like I remember he filled it with Bondo and painted it, but for years you could still see it. It was like full on damage. Like, oh my god, you know.
So he didn't have good feathering technique.
No, but I bless my parents for just like letting us letting us fucking like do this stuff. And have kids over. I mean, it'd be strangers. They'd walk outside and be like, "Oh, hey, who are you?" Okay. You know what I mean? This was the 80s when it was like, and then finally kids were getting, tricks were getting higher, airs, inverts, stuff was starting to get like, we were like, oh, we're starting to get better at this, and we'd have people come over that, either they knew how to skate or they didn't. Either you had two things. You're either going to see a show, like you're going to see something.
So you've been skating since the early 80s, and you were just saying a moment ago that your knees are shot from this?
Yeah, okay. When I was 15, I had a knee surgery for my meniscus on this one. I tore it, and this was just
From
skateboarding stuff. This is just skateboarding, yeah. And then at 45, I had it changed again because of just being at work and then going to the skate parks and skating. It like dislocated, flipped over, and popped back in. So now it was flipped, tore, and completely fucked. So at 45, at 15,
from like crumbling on ramps while you're doing
well,
whatever.
okay, I got another story behind that because everything on my left side, I skate regular. I'm not a goofy footer. I skate regular. So it's left foot forward.
Weird.
Left foot forward.
Left foot forward. You know, so I jump on and I'm riding that way, right? From all the years of
that's
falling,
how I skate.
yeah, but all the years of falling on my left side, this left side of my knee is completely like gone. There's nothing there. It's just soft, and if I touch it, it's like
eating it a lot.
Okay,
huh?
over here on the left
So
side of my
much.
hip, the left side of my hip is all like it feels like a serrated knife, you know, like crunchy, 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 crunchy. But if I feel this side, it's nice and smooth, the way a pelvis is supposed to feel.
Dude, you know that's one of my favorite
Now I
things
skate
to
switch.
go to online is to watch like skaters just
Okay.
completely destroy their bodies on attempting tricks
okay.
over and over and over and over until they get it.
What?
What are you gonna say, like TikTok or some horse
Yeah.
shit? Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I mean, TikTok it will definitely waste a lot of your time.
Oh, yeah.
If you have some to
definitely
waste,
does.
yeah.
You get
And
caught up
some
in the
of
death
it's-
scroll, it's over.
Some of it's funny, and
We're
some of
wasting
it's
your
like,
time in a little bit here.
I cannot believe the effort that people go through in the editing to make stuff look. I mean, some of it's like fucking hilarious.
But
Like
you're good. I feel like you would be good at doing that. I'm surprised you haven't tried
No,
that.
you know
It's like
something?
your
Seriously.
editing is
Yeah,
fucking dope.
you know something? I'm losing my sight. I'm gonna be fucking 50 in April. You know what I mean? Sight's going. You know, obviously I got to get a new prescription for my
You
glasses.
do
but-
not
I was
look
gonna
or
say,
seem like
glasses
a
don't look like they're
50-year-old
holding up.
man.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even shave purposely. You can see, like, you know, you can see the gray coming through, or it's just like.
I had the
whatever.
same
What,
thing.
you
I
haven't
look
shaved
young.
since you were 20?
No, it's just like, you know, I don't know. It's just I just stopped. I just gave up on aging. You know, I still have all my hair and everything, which is really good. It's you know, we have good genes as far as that goes.
I know you do. I see
You
it.
know.
And you're still doing the music thing, and you had brought something. You said it was a newer video that you worked. How long on have you been working on this Badger?
Grout the Badger. All the people that I play with now, it's with Nikki again. She played drums for Sour Towel back in, like I said, 2004, 2005, and then she went her separate ways. And then around 2007, I tried to put it back together again with the original drummer and the original bass player with Jeremy.
Okay.
And things went south with the drummer. He just, you know, he definitely was into it and was a great player, but his back started bothering him, and he just got away from drums. You know, he sold his drum set, sold all his gear.
Sad.
So you're down a
And
drummer.
no, but it was bad because, you know, if you want to get into like the hot details of it, it was just like, you know, where we were playing at the time, we had gear sitting out and gear went missing.
Oh man.
And a lot of it was
Okay.
his gear. And it was like fucked because it was like we had shows coming up and everything else. So I was just like, look, I just covered it and just bought him new gear. We went to Guitar Center, put the show in a cart. You know, some of his cymbals were missing and everything else. And I'm all just like, we know where it went. We know somebody stole the shit. Like, obviously somebody stole this fucking shit and hawked it for something. We don't know where or why or who.
I feel like
So
that
we
was
don't point.
steak.
No. So I didn't point any fucking fingers. I didn't do anything. I was just like, all I know is that's exactly. He would be.
This
the
is
only
all
person.
your equipment that's coming up.
No,
missing?
this was our drummer's equipment at the time. This was his shit. Okay, now I just replaced it with my own money. I was just like, look, you know, we need this stuff. I don't want you to quit the band. I know you're pissed. You know, we need this stuff. Let me just replace it. You know, and maybe I'll shake, you know, what's his name down or whatever, and we'll figure it out. Or maybe I can shake somebody down and we'll figure out what happened. There was never any closure on any of that. I just bought him some new shit and just carried along. Because the things you do with people, you know, and it's like, okay, now this was at the time, 2007. We played the Funky Frog as the last show. I'd had it with this dude. This is our bass player. I had it with him after that show. I literally like threw him out of the band or threw him out of my life. I'm like, I'm done with you. This is fucked. Eric's pissed. You know, I mean, he has nothing to do with you. He's quitting. There's no way to even do this band anymore. I'm done with you. We're done. That's it. You know, and so I didn't talk or see to that guy for years.
So this band is dead now.
Yeah, this was Sour Towel, like going like this. But then when I started going out with a girl that and from work, you always just find someone at work, you know, and
that's how it happens, right?
So
They do say a lot of
we started living
relationships
together
start from the workplace.
This is okay. So this is probably like second generation of Tile already, which or it kind of like went boom, boom, and then back to the first one. So now we're on like going to be third generation here now. Third gen. I move out to Burton, out in the middle of fucking, like BFE, where, almost like Middlefield area, where it's like, okay, I can make a shitload of noise out here in a house that I was renting that was right next to a fucking cemetery. And I walked through some of that cemetery. We got some great band photos in that cemetery, right? And because you could raise hell in Tarnation, no one even cared. I mean, I put a 4x12 on the porch with a head and just strummed, and you could sit there and just play. No one even fucking like call the cops or blink an eye. I was like, this is cool. It's a great place to. And the basement of this house, whoever owned this house, I'm just renting it. Whoever owned this house had like a theater room. And they put all this nice wood on the walls and shit, and they had like they wired it up for like speakers in the corners and everything for like maybe a projector or a big screen of some sort, which became a really great room to like set the drum set up and actually start fucking playing music again. So I'm like, I'm gonna do Sour Towel again. I met somebody through the girlfriend at the time, this guy named Chuck, and I met him at a festival actually. I started going to like. I started going to like.
Got stories, 50 years of them, dude.
If I want to jump back actually to 1990 when skateboarding died, and my brother quit skating because
it died when I was born.
But yeah, okay, about 1990, 91, my brother quit skateboarding because he started chasing tail, drinking. He was driving. He was going to college. He was, 89. He had just graduated high school in 89. I was a freshman in high school. I wasn't blown. And then, where my world got kind of changed was 1991. This kid, I went to CVJVS, or the Cuyahoga Valley Joint Vocational School. They don't even call it that anymore, but it's still there. And my trade was communication electronics. And I started going there junior year. So like they had it switched. So like the beginning of the like junior year, in the morning, you would get on a bus and go to this place. And at the end of the day, come back to the school and then like have the rest of the day off or whatever. But I think it was backwards. Junior year, I would actually have regular high school up until half day. Then you got on the bus and went to CVJVS. Correct. It was like that. And then senior year, you actually went to CVJVS in the morning. Sometimes I would drive my car. So I remember this. And then, something back. Because around senior year is when I actually got my license. I didn't get my license until I was like 17. I was a late bloomer,
So this new music here, you wanted to play this?
Yeah, this video. This was okay. See, this one had Nikki in it, which was the girl that played in the Sour Towel from 4 or 5. I mean, it was just this combination of people that I met through the years at Desolation Studios. Because when I was with Buracker and I was with Eric, we played at a studio that was out by Lost Nation. And they rented this like big facility. It was right next to a CNC shop, It had I remember the kid that him and his dad ran this CNC shop next door to it.
Did you shoot this?
God bless Adam. Another guy we lost. These are just all people that are around. They're going to be around the whole story, but we lost him. But that studios where we used to play. No, this stuff. These are some of the people. And the one guy, the bass player Dan, he was owner of that studio. Part owner. The guitarist, Brian, he's the guy, he's the bald guy, DeCarlo's Used Cars, owner of that studio. And recorded, they were at the time where when Tao was going on, Eric, the drummer, got me involved with these people, met all these people. So I met them probably around like 2001, 2002, around when they had the studio. And so I lived in an apartment. I couldn't play in my apartment. I had a 2-bedroom apartment in Bedford. But I only needed 1 bedroom for my actual bedroom. The other bedroom was just packed in with all my shit. The PA, computer, like drum set and cases, 2 full stacks. It was.
You were rocking the shit out of that apartment.
You were drumming in your apartment?
Hell no. No, I couldn't. No. I wouldn't set any of this shit up. I wouldn't set anything up. I would just leave it all in there in cases. And then whatever we were going to do, like we're playing a gig or playing a show, unload it, load the car, and then go. If I wanted to play, I would usually leave a 4x12 cabinet at their studio or a head, or just bring my amp with me, put it in the in the back of the car, drive all the way out to Lost Nation, play, do our practices or whatever. And when we did shows, it was like load in out of my 2nd story fucking apartment down the steps. People would come over and help. You say roadies, but these are your friends going, fuck you, Bires. You can all that shit yourself. Like, what kind of an asshole has to bring all this? You can bring a combo and sound fine, but no, here I am like, oh no, man! I got to play through 2 full stacks.
Yeah.
Right now, currently, do you have a band that you're working with?
Yeah, I have a couple of them, like the ones I brought on USB key. Like, okay, the one I was working with, the one that's on YouTube, I started working. We'll get to that, actually. We got this.
Well, I got to play something now, and then we're going to go to our first break.
Play the Growl with the Badger. Yeah, I know, first break. I know you got to pee. I see him going up and down. Play the Growl with the Badger. That's these guys. This is Dan on bass. We always wanted to like play some music together. They wanted to play with me. I was always doing other bands. It's like, let's get together and do a little project. Everybody is from so far away, so it was kind of tough to do. Okay, Nikki only got 1 day off a week for the job that she was doing, and she was using that week to drive out to my house and actually play. And it's like, God bless her. This was awesome that we did this. And then it's funny because I was like, look, we got to do a video. Like right away, I want to do a fucking video. And so the summer footage, I had the spot. It was in my friend's yard down the back. So we're like by Lawrence School. It used to be the old Fell Lake Park, the original Fell Lake, the pond where people used to actually like go. That's why you could see the stairs in the background, stuff like that. His house was right there up on top of the hill. So
You're talking about where this video
was where this
filmed?
video was filmed. Yeah, all that down there, in the pond. In fact, there's one of the clips you can see my buddy. He's like the guy who owns the house. He's in the canoe for a second. He got a clip in it. We're in there. And then, filmed all that. And then flash forward, I sat on the footage. Ended up losing my dad. Stuff happened. I moved. Shit, even the guy that, lived at that property doesn't live there anymore. We couldn't film there again. 2 years go by, stuff sitting on a hard drive. I edited the first part of it and was like, okay, now what? I want to film the winter footage. So the winter footage was filmed in Dan, the bass player's backyard. And so when it switches in and out, you can see how we're all wearing our winter gear in the summer and we're freezing our balls off in the winter. Now the winter footage was tricky because the summer it was like, okay, as soon as we were done with the take, we'd take all our shit off and be like, oh man, we'd be soaked. You also notice the bass player's playing with mittens, and that's the genius part of the whole thing.
All right, we're going to watch this.
But what's also in the video is there's all kinds of inconsistencies. I'm wearing a Russian hat. It doesn't float well anymore.
I do think it's a cool concept for a video, though, for sure.
Yeah, that's 2 years later. I got pink hair.
I didn't even know it was in two different spots, though. I thought it was in the same spot and everything.
No, this was actually in Dan's backyard of his house. That's that. See, we didn't have a drone back then. That was actually Kenny standing up on their deck, on the handrail, way up on the top of the two-story house.
That's awesome.
Just to get that fucking shot.
I always like that DIY footage.
Yeah. This was all taken with the same camera too, but with this rig that I got that actually has the monitor on the top and shit and everything. It got more and more elaborate by the time this footage was filmed. We were freezing. You had to run outside, and we did it twice. We did the song twice, and then we ran back inside. And also these guitars, I got a story behind it. They're Washburns. They're not Gibsons. I bought two of them online. They're $170 a piece. They look pretty. They play like absolute crap. They're not even playable. They got strings on them. You can plug them in, but they don't hardly even play. They're terrible. They need set up so bad. If you try to set them up, they're awful. It doesn't matter. You're not really playing anyway, obviously. But that's the funny part about it. And him falling in the snow, who cares? My whole point was we were gonna set them up.
That would be tough.
I call them the video guitars. We don't play them out. We tried playing them a couple times, but I was like, no, let's just set them on fire and beat them up and do something with it. But him falling in the snow just made it even better.
I like that little breakdown you guys just did.
Yeah, and you had to do the broom. The broom goes back to Shoveler and my buddy because, we did a band photo. I used to do Murders with me and the Shoveler. And his band photo was him with a broom and the Marshall in the background. I was like, dude, that's the best band photo ever. And we were just generally freezing. And this is when we were sweating our balls. That was supposed to be the money shot, which was your wife calls. I'd be like, I don't know what the hell that is, but, it's not porn.
I remember you telling me about making this video, and I was like, yeah.
And then this part I definitely had to throw in the end because it was like, when I go, fucker, we're running the feed off my phone. Playback. We're freezing. So I kept running the playback off my phone. And it kept pausing on us.
Yeah, buddy, boy.
And then we were finally done.
Coors Banquet there. Yeah, buddy.
Big shout out.
Don't forget to come down to call those used cars.
Yeah, and check out this number.
It's fucking cold out here, but I love it.
It's actually get you a car.
You know what I mean?
I don't know how many people called it, but it just gets you a car if you look at the phone. You know.
Did you just make it up or like?
Yeah, it was just a phone. They'd look at a phone and just be like, all right, yeah, GIT gets you a car. What's the numbers? It gets you a car.
Yeah.
You know, because
you should try to get that number and then set it
look,
up. As
we
your,
actually
like,
on actual hard drive right now. We never did anything with it. I did the car. Okay, that's his last name. You know, that's Brian's actual last name. And for some reason, it's in the. If you go on, our entire album that we recorded over my house is on Bandcamp.
On Bandcamp.
Bandcamp.
Okay, so how do they find that on Bandcamp?
Just go to bandcamp.com, Grout the Badger, and you'll see our thing on there. It has the album and it has all the songs. And they were all recorded on me and by me. And they're fucked up because I pissed at. I just even playing them back.
Why do you say they're fucked up?
Because deadlines and all that kind of shit. When you're like, I need this done by this time, or it's like we're gonna put this in there, or I get excited, or I don't. I'm always the pessimist. Everything that I do, everything I put out, I think it's shit. I think it's crap. Like even that video you just saw right there, I'm looking at this going, oh my God, I'm insulted. It's fucking so bad.
It's not bad.
The subtleties video, right? Which will go back, it'll talk about Jarrod, and be like, from episode 47. I've never been in a suit in my life. Never been in a suit in my life. I had to tackle him and roll around the fucking ground and put a suit on this kid. Because I'm like, look, man, we'll look balling. It'll look cool.
Yeah. I did lie about that. I forgot that I wore a suit in that video.
Yes.
That's the only time.
You told me you never wore an actual tie also.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
That was a lie.
These were all tied by my dad at one time. And because I don't know how to tie a tie good, but I haven't tied it. I loosen it. I put them over my head and I hang them on hangers. I've had them like that for like 20 years. So the tie that he had around his neck was probably tied, an actual tied tie.
Yeah. And it was definitely a thrift store.
Yeah,
like if you saw like the button where my pants were, it was just like didn't even fit. It was just all sticking out.
Okay,
all
now here's
crazy,
the other one, all right? I'm not going to go out and buy fucking 3 custom-made tailor suits for the fucking dudes in the band.
I don't know why you wouldn't for a video.
It's like on Grand Theft Auto San Andreas where you got to shop at Binko first.
Yeah, right.
Let me just say, these shots, I thought I was going to fuck it. I was nerve-wracked to the point where I chewed my lip gone trying to film that subtleties video. Because I'm like, all right, we're going to film downtown. We're going to film the fucking street. It's live. I mean, we got a crew of people. We got Kenny.
Yeah.
And we had Brian Ministo with us also. And this dude, hey, man, it was fucking great because you'd have Kenny on a skateboard on his board pointed backwards with the camera at us, right? And then you'd have Brian pulling him forward, like hooked onto him by his other arm, hooking him, running forward.
So you guys are filming like music videos in the style of how they do skater videos.
Yes,
Brian's hooked on to Kenny and running to seeing where we're going and holding the light backwards and lighting the scene at the same fucking time, so we could walk and look like we're walking normal, like we're trying.
And they were
to get
just
somewhere.
playing a little like Bluetooth speaker of the song or whatever
out of Jeremy's like pocket. You could even see it too. I was like, dude, don't show the speaker on the camera, whatever. You can even see in the middle of the video where if you look at me, I'm like this. I'm like, cut, like this. That's fucked. We're like, cut it. Because some dude's walking down the fucking street and he's like pointing at us and you can see his face. And I'm like, I don't want to have to like identify this dude.
Or blur
I don't
him.
want him in my video. I don't want to blur his face. I didn't stick around to say, hey, can I get your likeness in my video? I was freaking the fuck out because I figured as soon as the cop's going to say like, all right, what are you doing down here? Unlicensed shoot. All we were doing is like it's a constant like walk from the casino straight up the road.
Man. That's a weird thing about filming.
And security
like,
was like
areas.
walking out and like watching us. I do know why he was paranoid, but I was like, fuck them.
And we walked up the street probably like 8 or 9 times doing the song to make this right. Also, I'll blow you away on a whole bunch of like facts about the video. Watch for Oberacker's fucking car in that one, or his aunt's car. This white fucking car is in the shot every time, every time, because it was parked in the street, and we packed everybody in this fucking car.
I remember that.
All of us
in ill-fitted suits.
Yeah, in ill-fitted suits. All right, here's the other one about the suits.
Hold on.
Right.
I gotta say that you guys, everybody watching, you can find these videos on this video in particular, Subtleties.
Yeah, Subtleties. It's Sour Towel. It's on YouTube. Yeah, you know what I mean? You'll find it.
On YouTube. Where you can also find
It's got like 120 views and I think like 100 of them are me. Like, oh, this video sucks.
I feel like that too. I'm like,
now,
my
the
video's got a
beginning
lot
of the
views.
video, a Subtleties, when it jumps down in white and it just goes boom, boom, boom. Okay, I was watching Lady Gaga videos like crazy.
But hold on.
Right?
Let's hold this. On this show, where we go to a little break, and then after we come back, we're going to go into the normal structure of our show. So, do you watch the news and keep track with world events?
Not really, but no, I know when we come back from this whole place is gonna be cloudy. But I'm saying, like, as far as world events and everything,
we'll be.
We will be. Hold on, we'll be right back on No Outlet Live. Stay tuned. You could also leave us a voicemail at 216-647-0064.
God hates fags.
The show will be right back. Stay tuned. No Outlet Live.
Fuck.
We'll be right back.
Not like the time your dad left.
Guardian Roadside Solutions is ready to help with your roadside emergencies serving the greater Cleveland area. They have the knowledge and experience to get you back on the move quickly with staff available 24/7 to help with flat tires, tire damage, changes, fuel delivery, vehicle lockouts, dead battery, or new battery installs. If you find yourself or someone you know in this situation, call a Guardian at 440-833-6000.
Are you looking for a place to have custom t-shirts made for your business? Well, we have the place for you. Flathouse Press works with 100% eco-friendly material for all of you conscious folks. They can also put out orders in a fraction of the time large-scale competitors can. They are a fun, locally grown Cleveland original company. Go to flathousepress.com and check out the variety of party toys, headbands, and clothing in their catalog.
What's up? Jay Remy here, host of No Outlet Live. Are you considering or curious about how you could start your own podcast? Join Anchor. Anchor has everything you need to make a podcast for free. Monetize your podcast, one-click distribution, record from anywhere on the app, and they have unlimited free hosting. Download Anchor on the App Store or Google Play. Anchor, podcasting made easy.
All of our loved ones always die in December. I miss the night times that I can't remember. Venom-filled veins and stone-cold sedation. Drugs are amazing and I fucking hate it. Kick the dirt off from your heels, darling. There's hell inside of these eyes. Let's lose ourselves around the cold rings of Saturn tonight. Fade away deep down into the depths. I wanna be swept out to sea. Life can seem like an ill-conceived illusion. There's no solution for some sicknesses. My soul turns to stone and I sink into the abyss. Chasing pipe dreams has its drawbacks. And without you, the world would be a much worse place. And without you, this world would be a much worse place. And without you, this world would be a much worse place. Without you, this world would be a much worse place. Without you.
It ain't delivery. It's the best podcast live on Saturdays.
Live on Saturday.
Welcome back to No Outlet Live. You can find the show on YouTube, Spotify, and of course, Facebook Live, where you'll find us every Saturday at 8 p.m. until we say otherwise. Things may change in the future. Who knows what the future holds? We're also on Apple Podcasts, Google, the iHeartRadio app. Everywhere that you can find a podcast, you can find ours, but the video is on Spotify, YouTube, and Facebook. Follow us, No Outlet Live, everywhere. We got our buddy Steve. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah,
to check out what is happening in the world
I'm not
today
doing shit. Yeah,
on local news, baby.
Oh jeez, here we go.
Oh jeez, here we go.
You said you haven't watched like news in a while.
It's on and it's on the TV. It's kind of like noise in the background, and I see it sometimes.
All right.
Well, let's see what we got.
So we need to know what you think.
No Outlet News. No Outlet News.
Well, that would have been a good one, though. It's like, I know that.
It is good. Actually, we were talking about this earlier, and I pulled it up, but we never got to it in the first little bit of the show. We were covering a lot about you and your history and stuff. Hold on one second. I have some stuff that I pulled for today.
You just have to go get it.
You're gonna dance?
No.
That's awesome.
We both don't know what he's doing.
I thought you'd bring the piece of plywood in here and
that would be awesome. He can't afford plywood. He's bringing cardboard.
Man, put a condenser mic on.
Right.
It would be awesome.
Incarcerated students win award for. Oh, I'll fix it next time. Win award for a health solution.
For mental health.
For mental health solution, though, not just any health, right?
Yeah, a solution for mental health. A simple but impactful video submission on mental health.
Turn off your TV.
Was awarded first place in a nationwide competition, but the group of high school students behind it is remaining anonymous.
Dude, here's two, man. They got a ribbon. They did something, it's like, here, you won.
They labeled us crazy because they don't even know us, one student said. Wow. They don't know us. They don't understand that I'm a really good child. I've been through some things. I did some things I regret.
Wait,
but at the end of the day, I'm a good child.
They're calling out these kids for being
they're facing decades
for having
in
mental
prison.
health issues. Like,
I don't know
how they'd call you up like, and our big winner for mental health issues of 2013 at whatever high school is this guy. You know what I'm saying?
They don't know what they did. They're just, I don't understand what I did. It's just.
Aspen Challenge 2023, celebrating student-led solutions in New Orleans and Brooklyn ahead of the Aspen Ideas Festival.
I'm confused, I guess.
I think this is where they submitted a video about how to fix.
What's the fix, though? Because maybe I'm missing that part of it.
Unlike the 18 other groups they competed against, the students from Travis Hill School didn't have access to technology, which one student said was a challenge. However, coming up with the actual plan to address mental health challenges was easy. Their suggestion was to host bi-weekly family counseling sessions that could bring an understanding of each other's grief and trauma. The parents will learn skills, a student said. They will also get the understanding of what trauma is, what grief is, like stress and anxiety.
Yeah. If I get stress, I get.
Sounds
stress
like
and
they're
anxiety.
just telling parents to try to, I don't know, be parents.
Lay off.
My first words to the kids were like, y'all are being heard now. Not just here, but all over the United States.
Look,
Y'all have spoken for every kid that's incarcerated or detained in the United States. So they're talking about the rate of kids going into the system. Incarcerated kids and people like that can get some help with their mental health issues by doing counseling, seeing family, getting whatever you got going on off of your chest.
Maybe.
Sure, you have to understand,
it does.
Even when you were in high school, when I was in high school, everybody knew that crazy kid. Like, oh man, that fucking dude, that dude is different than everybody else. He's a weird.
One of my good friends is one of them kids.
You gotta understand at this point,
give that man an award.
Okay, that dude,
he sells dogs now.
Yeah,
in Iowa.
that whack dude. Or you gotta remember, his kid had a kid. Like that dude had a kid, and then his kid probably had a kid at this point, right? It's probably like of age, 15, 16. You probably end up buying. You probably bought weed off him already. You know what I mean? It's that kind of
At
like.
least once.
Okay, so you gotta understand, like, if that dude was whack, fucking 25 years ago or something, 30 years ago, when I knew him before, you think like like any of this would even get better? Because then there's like, I can't, I'm friends with this one dude. He had a kid. Where it's just like, I can't believe like that's your kid, because it's like.
Well, you know what them kids.
He's a genius.
You
and
know
you're
what
like,
them kids.
you don't say it about your
them
friends.
kids. You're about to be 50 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'm 33. I'm a younger generation. There's a generation right behind me that they're all voting and stuff now, and it poll finds that Americans don't think biological men should compete in women's sports.
Well, okay. There's always been. All right,
the pendulum has swung.
This is a poll on Fox News.
Look, sports has always been like the challenge for like faster, better, more. You know what I mean? And it obviously their point of view, I'm sorry, I'm using the right pronouns. Okay, I'm doing this correctly.
You would try.
Their point of view is it doesn't matter any kind of race or gender and everything. It should be like, we're going for that time. I don't care what you are. You're going that speed. If you could run that fast, or you could bike that fast, or you could finish a triathlon that fast, like, hey man, here's to you. You know
I
what mean?
agree with
get
all
your
of that.
awards, get your shit, get it. Like, fuck yeah. But if it's specifically like man and woman, okay,
yes, I agree with you.
because the times have always been adjusted through the years for like reasons, just like, well, I've like weight mostly. Mass, but I've seen women out there that are way bigger than some dudes that are just like, okay.
There's some women that could crush dudes and all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
But when it comes to like having a generalized sport, women's basketball, you can't have LeBron James out there. That's a common joke that people make. You really can't though, because there is a huge difference in man and woman.
I understand.
You can't
that.
have these dudes using a pronoun and saying I can go
it can
and
piss
play
off
a
lot
women,
of people, but you
a
have to
women's
actually
league.
you have to look at actual DNA and innards.
Yes.
This is where it comes out to. It's just like
chromosomes.
Was she born with a uterus? Was she born an actual woman? It's a woman's sport. If you're born with a man, you're actually born with a dick and balls and everything, and it's cut off now and it's not there. It doesn't matter. The inside of your body was still a man. Everything's still a man, but it's like, oh, we're taking pills now. And now she's got so much fucking testosterone, she'll fucking pick up a car and throw it. I'd be like, okay, well that just goes into like blood doping and shit like that. And the same thing Russians have just been getting in trouble for years. So it's like, what are you doing? Is it all like, are we really going to do this for that number? I know race car drivers, they want to go faster and faster and faster. Like, oh,
yeah,
man.
and women could do that too and compete.
Okay, you understand because you're an old man, race car driver. You know,
Yeah.
you understand it. Where it's just like, okay, once you get in the 8s, it's like, well, now what? Well, I always want to get in the 7s.
Yeah, right.
Fuck, what do? We just keep taking weight off the car.
I think we were meant to build a rocket ship.
Yeah,
I know, I get
less,
it.
Eat less, more displacement. What do? We put a blower on it. It's bigger. What can we do to go faster? Because once you already hit your goal, it's just like your apex or whatever. And then what do you do?
I do have that need for speed in my life because of my dad doing that. And that's why I was so into like cocaine, just going fast. Like, 'cause it's always had to be fucking fast.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
You just want to,
my dad ruined
pedal
me.
to the metal. But it's also like I have the pessimistic and the worry work part of me, which is just like, okay, the worst is going to happen already. And like I'm saying, as far as like my work and music and everything I put out, to me, everything sucks. To everything I put out, like I hate seeing myself. I have to watch myself, but I also have to critique myself so bad. Because some of those videos you're showing, they're like...
Because you're not allowed to skate against women in competition?
No, not at all. As far as like what you're talking about as this thing goes, it has to be a genetic thing if you're going that deep into it. Like, we're not going to give an award to this guy. I know, or guy, woman, man, whatever.
But women are having to stand up
13.
on this subject. Like, if you...
Well, you guys are talking about like
it's
times and tracking things, and what I'm saying is like,
it's not fair. What fair? What are you talking about?
Why aren't you talking about boxing?
Yeah.
And things like that, because that's where it would really make a difference.
Okay,
and I think it should be a weight class thing.
But no, man,
because there is chicks like that She-Hulk chick I made you pull the videos of that one day. That just monster chick. So just put them in weight classes.
It's been proven that women.
Oh, so you think like the females can fight the males, but if they're in the weight class of that male,
no, because an actual like genetically made woman has a pain threshold that's much higher than a man. They
have less bone density.
Then
and
if they have
like
higher
muscle.
pain threshold, they should be able
Doesn't
to
matter,
stand
you
up to
know,
a dude their size then.
Yeah, you know
Because
what
that
I mean?
dude would be weaker because he'd be crying like,
I've seen a
"Ah,
lot
I'm
of
hurt."
women that would fucking put like they aim for the back of your head. They'll put you down. They'll put you through the wall, through that window. And
Dude,
like,
I know tons of chicks that could probably whoop the shit out of me, dude. I'm
Yeah,
not saying
you know
that,
what I mean?
but
Like,
they're not in my weight class.
you know, it's
That's
all,
actually what I'm looking for.
But this is
Someone
where it
beats
all
you up?
comes in. It's all a mental factor too, because, like I'm saying, I don't care who you are, what you are. If it comes down to like a speed or a time, it matters what
Men got it.
No, it's not just that. It matters what
Men
you're
got
actually
it.
like working
Look at all
for.
sports. You look at the statistics.
Well,
of
there
all
ain't
sports.
no women competing in
No.
like men's track and stuff. If
Actual-
they mixed them all together, where
actual
would we
women
fare?
have like sped up on a lot of this stuff, you know, especially as far as like Olympics and racing and all that, you know, limp dicks.
This is another
You know what I
big
mean?
story going on in the news
So
right
are you
now.
scared to compete against women in racing? Is that what you're saying?
No, not anymore. No, because you know, women have come up on everything. Look at
Long
women
distance
skateboarding
and
now.
speed, the men got them. That's
Look
why
at
there's not a
women's-
female in the
Look at women's
NFL.
skateboarding in the early, like, okay, I'd say late '90s. You know, I mean, yeah, there's some girls skating here and there. You didn't hear too much about them. Alyssa Steamer came out on the Toy Machine
yeah.
video, jump off a building.
I like
She
her.
first came out like Welcome to Hell, but you know, I saw her part. But I saw, you know, because at the time on Sundays I was working at a skate shop. You know, it's the one in Macedonia at the time, and it was a bike shop / skate shop, and I was, you know, buying every fucking video out of the thing because I was like, oh man, I want these for myself. I still have these VHS tapes. And she was the first girl that skated straight up, straight forward, with your face forward, and you didn't matter. You watched your feet, you watched where you skated, and you're like, I'm not even looking at a girl. I mean, it was nothing. You can't say there was nothing girl about it. You know, because she had a rack and she looked good because she was young.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, fuck yeah, man. Like, she's hot, you know, and she was. At that time, you know, the chick was hot. Like, you know, just seeing that going down and seeing it done. And like, even like her front, she'd have like, you know, the front like nose slides, like the backwards, like, and have that hand out like fucking proper. You wouldn't see girls doing that, and even girls skating, even like in the early '90s.
So you're
and
saying that
90s.
she was
like
one
of the forefront. She was one of the
She was
first
the
ones.
iPhone 1.
She
You know
was
what
the
I'm
first
saying?
one, and
female skaters.
And I give it to
Yeah,
Ed Templeton.
female skaters.
Ed Templeton was the first one to put an actual girl on his team and just flop them in there with the guys. Same thing, same kind of video part. Nothing really changed. Her board was no different than anything else as far as graphics. It wasn't pink and like hee like a
But
girl.
skating's a
They
lot
were all the
different of
same.
a sport than the other sports.
It turned people around. It made them accept it more. Like, holy shit! Like, this girl can fucking skate.
No, I totally
You know what I mean?
agree. Girls in skating right now
Okay.
are really doing big things in ice
interview
games.
any girl skater. You get them in here, and they're going to tell you two girl names are going to come off in the world of skateboarding. They're going to say Alyssa Steamer, and they're going to say Marissa Del Santos, and from Zero. Marissa Del Santos, she put out a video, like a Zero part, like Jamie Tomesek sponsor. She put out a fucking part that's so dope, and it's so like, you know, and it's like tight pants, like squatty. It's like late '90s, kind of like weirdish and everything. But man, she put out a part that's so dope that any girl skater come in here and be like, that was my inspiration. Alyssa Steamer, Marissa Del Santo, and that's where like late '90s, early 2000s, girls started to take off on skateboarding. Now when you watch it, girls are doing it, standing straight up the way you're supposed to be, leading with your face, and actually going for it and getting your ass into the air, hucking yourself with little or disregard, because there really was no avenue for it back in the day. You were skating for yourself.
Hell yeah.
If you landed on your sideways and off a 10-foot drop off and splatted, who gave a shit? It was you and you only. That's it.
This
Well, and
right here
everybody
is
else is
X
laughing at
Games.
you.
X Games 17.
Nowadays, it's like they have an avenue. Like,
Larissa Del Santo.
yeah, from like, oh, dude. Yeah. And this is old, too, yeah. Dude, watch this shit. Stand straight up. She actually, like, does it right. Stands straight up and leads and skates, like, proper.
Right. I heard she was actually born as a man, so that's why she's so good.
No, not at all. No. Nope. But as far as like, dude, she was one of the actual
said
like.
no.
Think about
no.
it though, dude. Think about it though. She was actually one of the early pioneers right here that people speak of for like, fuck, dude. Like,
Oh yeah, for sure.
you know what I mean? To this girl, like just like any other person that's obsessed with fucking something, and I'm gonna do
But-
it, do it.
Still,
But
I feel like
think about
with
it.
skating, with track, with things like that, those are sports women can compete in.
But
things that are like physical,
Okay.
like boxing,
Exactly.
things like that, like
But-
it's
all right, we're gonna
they don't
stop
stand a
really
chance.
quick on
Dude,
that,
that
though,
is
okay?
completely true,
Okay,
though. When
but-
it comes to other sports, men dominate.
True,
Basketball,
but you're
football,
but you're watching
boxing,
but something
wrestling.
right there. Okay, yes, but when you get to this part right here, though, right after that, it was like what 2017 or anything else. She's out of the business. She doesn't skate for any company. She's not doing it. She's not competing. She's not even doing it.
But
anymore.
she's in a sport where she can compete.
But even
with
after
men.
video parts and
gender
doing it and
doesn't
everything
matter
else,
in skating,
right? But she's just like anybody else. She racked herself to the point where it's like, look, knees can't take it,
but that's
arms
even
can't
men
take
though.
it. And that's me going for it and fucking going for it and everything. And it's like
Tony Hawk's still out doing it.
I know, but it's like he still has viable ways to keep doing it.
Actually, I think Tony Hawk just said he was retiring.
He actually might be because
Well,
he's
no,
got
he actually
several
did. He
hit
retired from
replacements.
competition a while
I think.
ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think there was just some recently, though, that said he was finally giving up skating. And
but
like,
he's still doing huck jams. They still take the ramp everywhere.
Oh, gotcha. So
they
he's
do
leaving all
Vertalerts
that.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Vertalert. You can find them on YouTube. They just did one last year and everything, and Ellis is on the mic. It's actually really fucking good. Vertalerts are fantastic.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Check that out.
I have a Hawk and Ellis picture on my wall. It's signed by them. That was actually cool. I went on their website and got that. And
nice.
It's pretty neat, you know. I listen to them. I listen to the 9 Club. I'd still try to keep it real. Chris Roberts, you know, they kind of downsized. They had a whole bunch of different shows. They had like The Experience. They had a bunch of different ones. Now it's just the 9 Club every Monday. You can watch them and it keeps you. My brother gets Thrasher still, so after and I get it a month late. So as soon as he gets the new one, he hands me over the magazine. You know,
There's still Thrasher magazines.
Yeah,
there is.
Yeah,
dude.
it's the only.
Why would you just go to don't they have an app?
Yeah, well, no, I have a
just-
YouTube channel for it's for Thrasher, and I've watched the stuff. But it's good to have it in your hand, read it on the toilet.
Did you ever watch that?
You don't know
70s
that
show?
life. Yeah.
Which one?
You ever watch that 70s show?
Yeah, I used to watch that.
So
It got
Ashton
bad at the
Kutcher
last season.
and Mila Kunis were kind of people have been digging into Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
Okay, he's all over the news.
Well, right now because of the Danny
Danny,
Masterson thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I got
So
it.
check this out. Have you
Okay.
heard all of the lore and stuff that's going on around this story? So there's a lot of stuff resurfacing that Mila Kunis was messing with Ashton Kutcher when she was a minor, and he was an adult. That's when she got on the show because she lied.
Yeah, she was like 15. Or
She
16.
showed up at 14.
Oh, okay.
She showed up
Oh,
14
yeah, well,
years
that's
old.
bad, you know, but-
They made her and Ashton Kutcher kiss for the show.
Yeah, I remember that. And she was real uncomfortable, she said, or whatever at first.
Ashton Kutcher had a girlfriend in the past that was murdered. Okay. So he sends this letter. Him and Mila Kunis send this letter.
Wrote a support letter for Danny.
A support letter for Danny
I remember
Masterson,
that, yeah.
the dude with the what was his name? Hyde.
Yeah,
Hyde
yeah.
on the show. He's going to jail
We all
for
know.
4 counts on rape.
Yeah, so it's 30 years or
Okay.
something, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he got 30 years.
That's
And
a
then
lot of time for
They
anything.
sent a letter of leniency.
Yeah.
So they said, please, like, go easy on him because we know him as a good guy. People started digging into Ashton Kutcher, and this girl that knew him tweeted.
Yeah.
And she said,
That's all it took.
you shouldn't be playing this stuff for a rapist. And I know what happened back on this year. People looked at this year. This year is the date that his girlfriend was murdered. And they, some other dude, he went to court. It was all over TV when that happened. He went to court for it. And he, some other guy got like a life sentence or something because he killed, I'm pretty sure the story is that it was Ashton Kutcher's girlfriend and her sister.
Oh, no shit.
Yikes.
But there's somebody tweeting that they know it was him.
Okay.
Well, maybe not.
So this
it
is
was
conspiracy
him.
theory, or this is
there's,
like...
there's a lot of conspiracy going around.
Gotcha.
with
So
Ashton
that's
Kutcher thing.
big news, you know. I mean, look, he's got money. I mean, just like OJ, if you can buy a lawyer or whatever, you can get away with murder. You can buy your way out of whatever.
Well,
the
given
hell
Danny
somebody said or
Masterson
what
30
you did.
years for rape, when they let murderers out the next day, I
Yes.
think is like a crazy like amount of time.
Yes.
Like,
Well, look, man, people are gonna forget about this shit, and after like 5 years, it's gonna get like a parole check.
Well,
or
for
some kind of
4 counts of rape is
shit. Yeah,
different.
you know what I mean? Like,
what? Don't get me wrong. I
don't
think
know.
like he totally got what he deserved. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong on that. I just think
Nobody's-
that it's crazy that they will let murderers out like nothing. You know what I'm saying?
have
But
to.
like they'll be like, oh, you get 30 years for this. I think
they have to. There's
But
too many.
their
there's too many
sentencings are a little
with
skewed.
all of this stuff going on with Ashton Kutcher right now, everybody's digging in and finding their new videos are resurfacing of him like when he was 21 and I think Mila
Somebody's gonna
Kunis
bury
was
him.
17 and
Yeah.
they did a little like home video thing on YouTube where she's all up on his lap and they're playing cutesy and stuff. But that's him. That's showing that he was dating a young girl when he was 14 and 19 is
Right.
But do you think that's over the line?
They also had like the fake relationship type deal on the show And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? A lot of
I
that,
know.
like,
But you gotta
emotions
think-
play into a lot of that, too.
Think of
even
the
though it's
times of when
acting.
you were that age, though. I was 18 and
They're
had a
also
16-year-old
married.
girlfriend at the time. And I
Hold
was
on,
18.
what?
When I was 18, I had a girlfriend that was 16.
Okay.
And, this was early 90s. So it
Now,
was
I
like,
think with isn't it a law that there is a specific age gap?
I guess.
Right there?
Because that wasn't that like that. Well, this was at the time when it doesn't the 16 age consent bullshit or anything, but this was around that, like,
Before they thought they needed that.
Her dad felt like it was just like, no, it's cool. He's all right.
I mean, it's not like a Leonardo DiCaprio thing where we're like, yeah, your wife of 7 years is finally 21.
No, but when you're a kid, you're just like,
But as an older
Shit
man,
happened.
dating like a younger chick, like if you're like, I'm in my 40s, so like if I get like a chick in her 20s, like I think it's kind of the same thing as that, kind of on that level.
But
when it's
also, they are married now.
yeah.
So, like, it's not, I don't know.
And
I mean, that was super consent.
And Scientologists.
To a certain-
you're right.
to an
Super
extent.
consent. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Aren't they Scientologists too?
yes, they are Scientologists, and there's a lot of stuff that's like kind of weird about this
Okay.
because people are wondering if this is like the lore and the folklore of the Scientology thing. How they say like
There's
they,
a
they
lot
get
of
you.
conspiracy around this.
Yes,
shit. Like,
there's a lot going on right now with Ashton Kutcher, the dude from that '70s show, and also Punked.
yeah. The only thing I
he did
saw
a few
about
cool
it.
movies.
I can't name one, but the only thing I saw about this was they tried to bring out like on Punked, he was like made a joke about
Hillary
Duff.
Yep.
Like, but he said it was like in a bit though, and they were like, no, he said this shit as being serious. Like they tried to chop him like they do Biden and fucking Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like to make them look bad.
Damn, you're saying he's getting Trump treatment?
Yes. I feel like that on that end of things. I didn't know about all the shit you were saying though. Like that's kind of crazy.
Love and alcoholic.
Oh, hold on.
Hillary Duff. A huff and a puff and a...
This is another reaction video.
Yeah.
It's hard to find
Of course,
anything on
you're
YouTube.
not gonna find anything
Oh,
original
yeah.
anymore.
It's always
Somebody-
secondhand.
We stepped all over it.
Yep.
Like we are doing now.
Yeah, right.
Ashton Kutcher has resigned from the charity he set up to take child sexual abuse following outrage over a letter of support about the Danny Masterson thing.
Sure.
So now he dropped out of. He was one of the people when it comes to real conspiracy stuff. They say he was somebody that was fighting against like the whole Pizzagate and all that stuff, right?
He was too. He was like the poster child for that
Yeah.
movement. I feel like
He was the spokesman
Yeah,
of
spokesman, yeah.
that movement. And now he's pulling his money out of this charity. He resigns from being probably a head of one. It's kind of weird that he's making that move as soon as they're like, yo, you and Mila Kunis was doing some things
Yeah,
at a
right.
weird time, buddy, for you to be this guy.
Yeah.
Do you think that's like a management?
Well, I think it's amazing to me that they made it this far, and people knew about that shit like years ago.
I was watching somebody else's other take on it, and
why-
I kind of understand it.
The only reason
Like-
it's a big deal now is because of the Danny Masterson thing that
Yep.
dug
Yes.
up some old shit again.
That's exactly what happened.
So,
Yep.
so I mean, he should be mad at his
And
buddy Danny for
what he-
that, or his own self for getting involved. But he got involved, and now he's involved, and now people are digging into him.
Yeah, you shouldn't have got involved. That is a good take.
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking right now, like, hey, I got involved. Yeah,
Yeah.
what are we gonna do about what?
Yeah.
Right.
Who has money, time, and effort to dig? And then it's like, the facts. So what he
If
said
you had
is
a friend
true.
that raped 4
You know
people
what I mean?
and
Yeah,
got 30
okay,
years,
yeah,
would you be
obviously.
like, go easy on him?
Obviously,
He's all right
I
guy.
mean, okay, if you're gonna do something bad or something weird, obviously, you know what I mean. But
Wait.
if you've never done that or it's not in your nature, then
Did he do it before or after the sentencing? Like, did he write a note like saying like, "Hey, my friend, I think he's a good guy. I think you got the wrong guy," or was it like, "Hey, I know he fucked up, but you know, like,
I mean, I'm
like,
pretty
at
sure,
what point?"
I'm pretty sure that all of this was during the trial,
Is
right?
that me? I'm sorry.
This would be during the trial before sentencing.
Right.
I don't think you send that afterwards.
Well,
Is
that's
this
what I'm
an
saying.
afterwards
That's
thing?
why they're trying to. I think it sounds like that because I don't know much about it, but I have heard a little bit of a little here and there, like a couple of videos or whatever. But I think they make it sound like he's saying it after the fact. After he was like, I know he fucked up, but hey, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of a little different if you're like, hey, I think this guy's a good guy, and I think you have the wrong guy, and it's my friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, as opposed to afterwards, like,
He's
just trying
in
to defend it.
Ashton Kutcher is in a shit storm of PR.
Well, it sounds like it. You have all this information I didn't know. Like, that shit's insane.
But you'll say
It's very crazy.
It'll be like yesterday's news soon. I mean, everything's just like, well, if you're in that.
Dude, in all of his projects that I watched on TV, I was a fan of Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
What about this stuff is all like
the one he did
surfacing
with
and
Danny
making
Masterson? That fucking when they were on the farm, the ranch or something. Is that what it was called?
The ranch, yeah.
Yeah, he did a show with.
Oh,
him.
Yeah,
and it was good. Like
it was like a Yellowstone kind of thing.
Yeah, it was okay. I was watching the first couple episodes because the wife
one,
wanted to watch it, and I was like, I watched a few, and I was like, it was well written, and it was like, even though it was him, whatever, and I was like,
it's just like I wonder about stories like this, like how all this stuff is coming out about him right now.
Yeah.
Is this the media just trying to make a shit show out of him for some? Is the cabal for real in Hollywood?
Yeah, right.
But he's making money
Illuminati
also
stuff.
with people noticing the shit going on right now. People are fucking turning on. Oh, no, I mean, even Google will be like, hey, we'll pay you, 30, 40K if we just let this fly. Okay, yeah, whatever. I mean, I'm sure his manager or PR guy and everything, they're making moves.
What do you think? Bad PR is good?
Any PR is good. Anything. Yep. People saying bad, good, ugly, doesn't. People are talking about you. I don't care if they're talking shit.
Do you think whole stories like this could be staged?
Of course.
You think like
it always gets stacked on top.
A lot of it.
Yeah,
is.
of course. Man, that's fucking
because
bullshit.
it's all just.
Dude, let me call Ashton right now,
you know
man. Fuck this. We're gonna stomp this right now. Yep. Let me call Ashton right now. Like, dude, what are you doing? I know you weird Scientology motherfucker. But did you? Okay, yeah, I know they're crazy, but no. But these people watch TMZ. I know. Oh my god. It's entertaining. People love to watch other people fuck up. They love to watch other people like fuck something up or like oops someone's mistake. Like the best is like go watch his videos or like you get a snapshot like oh look fucking
I know this one too.
Dude fucking Taylor Swift's tit fell out when she was getting groceries down at the fucking 7 and flop. It's like that. It's like ooh.
What about this kind of what about this kind of PR where it's kind of in a lane of what you're speaking about? There's this lady that's running for Virginia State House Council or whatever it is.
Yeah, but someone got on her fans only page and saw her twat. Yeah, I get it. It's like, well, we shouldn't let her in office anymore.
Biden had to speak on it?
No, this is something different. Dude, it'd be so funny if you did.
Dude, you could go online and probably find a picture of Biden's cock. I mean, that's just the way it goes, man. I mean,
no, he's
naked's
super
been
old.
around for years.
He's super old, bro. He's like World War II old.
Oh, do you think there isn't a super old bro fucking .com that you can't go to and fucking check like fucking 80, 90-year-old people that are naked? They're just like, I'm getting frisky in front of this camera. Fuck it. Look, money's coming in.
Dude, what's the address?
People want to see that. I don't know why, but it's like, okay, sure. But there's people out there that want to see everything, and they don't want to move from their house. They'd be able to just click and go, oh, yeah.
Well, eventually that's where we're all going to be because we're already starting to get there.
And you do that, right? And it's like, people ask me all the time, like, yo, man, why don't you film some people like showing you how to fix your boat or fixing your boat? You should be filming yourself. My God, you could talk and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
After a while, like, I think like probably 10 years ago or something or whatever.
But don't you think this is a good poll for a vote?
No, I had
for like you get.
She got my vote.
I had a life epiphany where I was like, I don't want to show anybody how to do anything anymore. Because people learn differently. You can sit there and scream in their face, they might learn. You can sit there and just talk to them quietly.
But if you get nude, you get everybody's attention.
I guess, but that's not what, be like, we're going to all nude garage, and we're going to do our own channel.
That's what this lady was doing with her husband. All these videos.
She's probably making a shitload of money.
So what happened with her? She was on Chatterbait. Okay, that's like a webcam thing where you do things on cam and they send you money on the internet.
Sure.
They just pull out their credit
ding,
cards
ding,
for you.
Through my PayPal.
Yep, ding, ding, ding,
Check
ding.
it out.
Oh, you know it.
So she was doing stuff with her husband on camera.
Absolutely.
And now she's running for the House of Delegates seat in Virginia.
Hell yeah.
And,
I would print up a fucking sign, stand in the crowd with like her husband, like their faces in it and twat. The horror. You guys eating at Arby's or what? And I'd be standing in the crowd and it would just say like, vote for fucking Arby's lady right now. Arby's twat lady or whatever. Look, that stuff is out there. If you could do so, and somebody will do that. There'll be T-shirts of it. Vote for fucking Marianne. Fucking blah blah blah. It'll be there. I'm telling you, people don't care, and they're ruthless.
We got the meats Arby's.
Dude, listen, people are ruthless, and they'll do anything because I'd be like, wow,
she
that
doesn't look bad. When I saw little SERPs of the video, I have
define
videos.
good, bad, and ugly because that's gone now. Okay, you can't define that anymore. You got to be able to.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, she's got a beautiful soul. She has like her teeth missing, but what a beautiful woman. She has a beautiful soul. You know, people still.
No, this lady running for the House of Delegates doesn't look bad. She's got the MILF thing going on.
I know. The only thing that I have a problem with that video is, like, why the fuck they go out and get sunburned with the little white things around their eyes?
Jeez, no.
That shit looks trashy, dude.
Geez,
like,
she's got like a panty line and her sleeves are super white.
Yeah, even the dude standing behind her, he like gets in the camera, he looks at it all close, and it's just big ass white eyes with like sunburned face.
Like, they live in it big though. They're on Virginia Beach with the cucumber slices.
Yeah,
anytime,
I know he's wearing a
anywhere,
couple.
if somebody feels good inside, they look good. It doesn't matter. Like, didn't you ever see like
It definitely shouldn't bar you from running for a politician's role. You should be allowed to be a politician, and if you're a freak, I mean, isn't that like
She like, vote for me, and I'm motherfucking sexy. You know, like putting a leg on the table.
She got my vote though, for sure.
Dude, if
that's where it's going. That's where it's
champion.
going. I mean, what do you
know what I'm saying? I saw the way she took it. I know
that's-
she could hold up and.
Hey man, here's to them. If they got money to spend,
or wherever she's running.
It sounds to me like they're not
Virginia.
starving. She's making money. Make that money.
Okay.
Any way you want to do it.
Okay, so this is a big one going around, Jarrod. This one was for you.
Okay, you got something for me? Oh, I feel special. You don't.
I might not.
Damn, son.
Yeah,
I can't find this on my
That's
own.
all right, man. It's top quality. You didn't even pay your ad blocker. You're still using them free ones that fail on you right when you need them the most.
What kind of show are you running, sir?
It just went boom. Your 30-day fucking trial is over again. You know, and you delete it and run it again.
Alien corpses are shown to the Congress in out in Mexico. Okay, this guy comes forward with these two carcasses. He says he found in a mine.
Yeah,
and they're underwater under algae. This plume of algae mummified these bodies. He says.
Okay, because they're not, real.
This is a picture of one of the mummies. They're 3 feet in length.
How fucking cute, man.
And have 3 fingers, elongated heads, no teeth. They x-rayed these things. They say that there's metal in the body and bone. And
do we believe that Steven Spielberg got it right?
Dude, it doesn't.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like that shit's made up.
We'll go to Walmart right now, and I'll get some fucking Play-Doh, and I can make a better alien than that. And you can take a photo of it. I mean, it looked like it was taken with a. Okay, this is supposed to be like some kind of super NASA camera and everything else. That thing was a potato. Do you see the photo? It was like grainy. It was like this. It's like, what the fuck is that?
Well, this is my thing. I seen a UFO when I was younger. We've been following this story for years on this show. Yeah. Now I have somebody investigating it, and
investigating it hard, dude.
You sure it wasn't?
I'm going in. Do you guys want to hear my first theory?
You sure it wasn't just water on your eye?
You
I have
a theory.
A first theory.
It's
not my final one.
Was this
but
at
I
night
have
or
a
daytime?
feeling. No. Just hear me out. Oh shit, I did that.
Come on.
But-
This first theory theme music. Dude,
I didn't even set that alarm. That's so creepy. All right, let's get into it. So my first theory is this, right? So you got the babysitter chick. She doesn't really want to talk that much, right?
No, she doesn't really seem like she's going to call into the show.
All right. Well, this is because, and I'm dropping some knowledge on you right now.
Okay.
As a grown up, as a man with children, and I know what it is with children, right? Dude, she just wanted to go in the house. You guys were like, I see an alien, and she was like, yeah, that's an alien. I just want to go watch Oprah or Maury or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, just drug you guys in the house and acted like you guys saw that shit. And to this day, she doesn't want to talk because she doesn't want to let you guys know she's lying.
To break it to us that she actually fed us something into our imagination.
Yes.
Hey, we were so young that we imagined.
And she used it to manipulate your small little mind. That's theory one.
Well, I'll tell you what. Okay, there's a couple of them around here. Well, let's go down the street to any of these local psychic or palm readers, okay, and let her manipulate your wallet in your mind with
both at the same time.
Okay,
That's talent.
You'll be like, wow, like
That's
holy
women.
shit. I was thinking about that the other day. Oh, you were you? You know what I mean? It's all based off of. I mean,
I don't know, Jared. It's the evidence of her when we were messaging about it.
Yeah.
And when I read it back on the show, and it was like dry, and I didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
That your theory actually is starting to kind of hold weight
She
right
doesn't
now.
want to tell you she's a liar, dude.
She doesn't want
And
to
I
break it
know
to our
yeah,
the
she doesn't
child
want to
in
break
us.
your heart
We
because she
still have a
wants
child
you
that-
to believe in aliens. You know what I'm saying? She don't want to take that from you.
Dude, I wonder if our imagination was
Dude, she was
manipulated.
just trying to get you all to go
Look,
inside.
if you believe
Seriously.
in something, if you believe in something enough, and enough years go by, that shit becomes real. in the
Right,
human
like
mind.
dreams, like how
Yeah.
sometimes dreams
Yeah.
feel real.
Yeah, like OJ saying he was innocent. I didn't kill anybody. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
and
Like, we're still looking. I remember that one picture of OJ and this new girl, and he's like, "Together we will find the killer." Are they still looking? Because I didn't know. I mean,
he is. He's out here doing court cases and everything. Now he's like, I'll tell you how to get away with murder.
No,
This ain't it.
He got arrested again. He got arrested again for like selling his own memorabilia or some shit or something. I don't know any of the news stories. On
Somebody
OJ, but-
was.
But look, right in front of your face, that
Somebody
shit
was
went down.
bootlegging his shit, and he went and beat them up.
Look,
and I agree, you should.
right in
Don't let
front-
anybody
right in
sell your
front of
shit.
your
They
face.
stole from him.
Look, I watch a
Yeah.
movie every single
It's
night.
something. We all don't know the story. It's all 3 different stories, and you just didn't search it.
I
like, real
watch a
quick.
movie every single night that has OJ in it, and it's not the Naked Gun either.
That is creepy.
I know, and but it's a 1974 movie. It's a Towering Inferno. It's got Paul Newman. It's a great fucking movie. And I put it on. It's kind of like
This is
background
before
noise.
he
It's
was
like-
a serial killer.
Oh yeah, this is 74, man. He was a football player still at the time.
So-
but they had him in Hollywood, like making movies and shit, and a big afro.
Oh, and one of your favorite movies. He just
one of my
happens
favorite
to be
movies. He
in
just
there.
happens to be in. It's creepy, but it's also just like, yeah, man, that's it, man. And they even have his name on the thing when
Yeah,
it comes
it
up in the
is.
beginning.
So what do you feel personally about the UFO and the alien stuff going all over the news and
Okay, did you ever like stand outside there in the day and go like this? You see water drip down your eye. That usually gives you a false
Yeah.
sense of something's there. Wearing glasses, anytime something prisms from the left or right and hits the glass, it's like, what the fuck was that? You know?
how do you explain all these jet fighters, fighter jet pilots coming out saying that
Okay,
they've
if there
seen
was
stuff?
aliens and all that shit was found there, why there? Why Roswell? Why already there? Why not in fucking like St. Louis or out here in Cleveland? Like, oh, we touched down like fucking over on the east
That's
side.
what I
and
say,
shit.
too.
You know
Why
what I
do
mean?
you always
And they
find
stole
them
the
in
rims off our spaceship and all that shit.
Do you guys
How come you don't
remember-
hear about that? You know.
What about that old story of the White House? Wasn't it during the late 90s where the White House had something fly over it and it was restricted airspace and they shut down the whole city because of that?
I guess, but I mean, wasn't that like during the War of the Worlds time when everybody got scared because of a radio program that sounded so fucking real?
What
People
year?
thought that, they tuned
This
in.
is like in the late 90s, maybe the early 2000s. I thought that
I don't
happened.
remember any of
No,
that.
I think that was. I think
Like,
it was like testing of like balloons or like from China, but was sending balloons. Or
That's
some
what they're
kind of
gonna
shit,
say,
surveillance
dude.
balloons. They're gonna say all
It's
kinds of
always a
crap.
blue.
That's
Is
what the
it?
aliens will tell you.
Yeah, the skies. That's right. I remember. Yeah, look up once in a while. This shit's out there.
So you don't believe in the aliens and the UFO stuff at all?
I've never in my life actually seen any kind of. I've seen lights in the sky. Okay, here's one. When I was a kid, over our house, we had these 3 fucking balls. They were like 3 spheres. They flew over our house, and it was high
And
enough
all
that
of
it was
them
just like
dropped.
you couldn't really see what they were. But they were low enough that you could see that they were traveling together. No trails, no nothing. I remember my brother was there too. He was like, "Do you see that? Like, what is that?" And it was just like, dude. And they just went over, like, just over our city. We didn't know what the fuck they were. But that was,
So you've seen, he's seen.
that was the only time in
extraterrestrial
my life
phenomena.
I've ever seen any kind
Maybe.
of.
When you were a kid, dude,
Yeah.
that's back in the 70s.
No, this was the 80s. This was in our house in 81. I remember seeing this. My brother would say it too. We saw these 3 spheres like fucking go over the house. This was during the day. It was in the evening. So they looked like fucking 3 golf balls or something. They even had like kind of like the sun shadow on it. This was during the day. And they were low enough that we're like, what in the hell is that? And slow enough that,
How low would you say?
I don't know. It probably, it was at least. I'm saying like we didn't know like the actual size of them. All we knew was that all 3 of them were together and they were rolling together. But then since then, I mean, everybody's seen like shooting stars and crazy stuff in the sky at like night. and
wait,
shit
you're
like that,
standing
but-
there looking at the 3.
Yeah, we were out in our yard. And we saw
Okay.
these 3 spears go over. We're
So
like,
During the day.
this is during the day. Yeah. This is
So did they make any crazy movements that are unusual
yeah, I mean,
to
you
something
threw the
just
number out there.
flying,
If my
or-
brother's watching, he'll call it and be like, "Yeah, I remember them fucking spears. That was weird, man. That was fucking weird."
But I'm saying,
And then you
like,
won't be able to hang up.
what was? Did they make a move that looked like something an aircraft couldn't do? What?
Yeah, of
what
course.
signified is like you were like, this
all
is
three
nuts.
of them were together, and they were synced together, no matter. And they were going in a line, and all three of them were just like together, no matter what.
Gotcha.
And there's no way, like, and there was
Kind
no,
of like geese.
no chemtrails, no nothing off them, just 3 balls
In
that
like
were just-
a triangle shape, or were they all next to
1, 2,
each
3.
other in a
Yeah,
straight line?
Just 1, 2,
like
3 in a straight line, rolling sideways. Not
going
not
like at a
single-
90-degree angle
not
to where they were
single file.
traveling, or
Not fucking single file. It was just 3 together like this. There's no way, even with the turns and what they were doing.
So it kind of looked like your hand.
Yeah, and by the time it went over and you could show anybody or whatever, you know what I mean? It was just like, it was over. It was like, oh, fuck. But yeah, we were little kids when we saw that, and your mind's open.
That
to
was my
stuff.
story, kids, during the day. Something that was
Yeah.
fairly
Dude.
low, unexplainable.
Yeah.
I believe that there is other life forms besides
Okay.
us beyond space or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't believe you saw it. I believe
I
they're
know.
already here and they're done with our shit.
Yeah,
they're like,
right.
fuck you
Okay,
guys,
it's
I'm
like,
out.
Everybody
Like,
ever see the movie They Live?
Dude, I love that movie.
I know, that's what I mean. That shit, like alien stuff, was probably going on in our world, intertwined and everything else. But
Where he
let's-
puts on the glasses.
glasses, and you can
Yeah,
see the
dude.
people that are actually aliens.
oh,
the other
that's what
people
it
that
is.
are
In my
actually
head, I was like,
human.
that's that movie.
Yeah, with Roddy
Yeah,
Roddy
dude,
Piper.
Roddy
Oh,
Piper.
Yeah.
all you had
You
to
know
say
what I
was,
mean?
you ever see that movie
When-
with Roddy Piper?
when
I'm
he
like,
puts
fuck
the glasses
yeah.
on, he looks at the guy at the newsstand, and he's still a human, but he has the cash in his hand. And
Yup.
it says, "This is the new God."
Yeah,
on it.
dude, that
This is your
movie
new
is
God.
crazy.
Watch that movie like really slow, or like pause it and read some of the shit in the background.
Oh,
and everything.
dude,
It was
it's
way ahead of
wild.
its time. It was way ahead of its time.
It was dude, that
I
was
mean,
a
Roddy,
really
he
good
couldn't
movie.
Even, he couldn't even act, but he was perfect in that movie. It was actually good. And here's what
and it was like Doom.
Yeah.
So
he
the
just started-
game came out.
Fuck it, I'm
that
just
really
gonna kill
tied
all
in
these
with it.
fucking
Hell
aliens.
yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. There's no rhyme or reason. He's just like, they're not supposed to be here. We're gonna kill them.
So,
80s, you gotta love the 80s, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
this-
Play-Doh. I'll go to Walmart and make you a better fucking alien. We'll take a better photo
does
of it
look,
too.
It does look so fake.
That's
and,
horse.
and a lot of people
Well,
are.
and they also said they have like 36 of these things.
Really?
Yeah, they said they found a bunch of them. You know what
Sure.
I'm saying?
I feel
Whatever.
like these could be things that were maybe they are fairly old. Maybe it was like a toy of some sort.
Yeah.
You know,
Or like
Yeah.
somebody's pottery class project
Yeah,
that
like
didn't work
pottery.
out. Like
It could be it could be a bowl. You don't know. I mean, that looks terrible. I mean,
no, not
they're
at
like,
all.
this is the ugliest human I've
Yeah.
ever seen. Throw it away. They were like, dude, it's an alien.
I made better shit in elementary school, man. So
ancient pottery.
no,
class.
next news thing that you got. I mean, trust me,
move
it's all
on.
it's all good, but you know, like that one was just fucking
We've talked about this enough.
Play-Doh.
So Putin just met up with Kim Jong. Well, actually,
bone crusher handshake.
The other way around. Kim Jong Un just went to Russia to meet with Putin, and it sounds like it may be one of these moves of another country trying to jump into the BRICS program or BRICS. I mean,
Yeah.
the BRICS program is supposed to be rolling out its full plan for the domination of world currency at the moment. And they say that Kim Jong-un, a body language expert, says that Kim Jong-un seems scared shaking hands with Putin.
Man, this is satire.
You're getting your sources
think
from
so?
I
canoes,
think so.
man. I mean, this is horse shit beyond. You know what I mean?
What is K-News? Do you know this?
Canoes is like fucking the goddamn Inquirer, man.
He calls it the canoes. Is that
Whatever.
what it is? It's
Whatever.
the snooze.
Man, no, dude. It's man, I can make up some really good stories like
Putin
bone
used-
crusher handshake. Ugh.
Putin used what has been
Sure.
dubbed a bone crusher handshake,
Oh, yeah.
a strong and forceful grip, as observed by behavioral psychologist Darren Stanton.
Sure.
This handshake, lasting approximately 40 seconds, is seen as a power move.
Dude, why not something that's really going to corrupt us? How about the UAW? The guys up there are going to strike.
Yep.
In Michigan.
We were
It
gonna
already
talk.
happened.
We were getting there.
Yeah, it already
But-
happened, but dude, that's
No,
gonna
it already
cripple-
happened. Did they go on strike? Actually, I know it was
think so.
Thursday, right?
Yeah, I think so, and it's going to cripple everything. I mean, people need to drive everywhere. Like cars are
Well,
just going to trickle to nothing.
We'll get to that. We were getting to that story, I think.
I told people don't buy cars past 2020 because that was during like COVID and shit, and that's
You
when
know
cars
what?
were like built by managers and stuff because people didn't come to work.
Right.
They still had to run the assembly line.
Well, all these people are striking and trying to get more money is
Right.
because they've inflated the price
Of
and
cars?
we can't can't, and they've priced people out of their hourly wage.
Yeah.
And the inflation is going up faster than the 3% that they're
where's
giving
all
you
that
a
money
raise
going?
for.
They know the actual price of what it takes to build one of those fucking cars. Why?
Oh yeah.
Why is this like 40,
or what they're
50,000?
making? Like,
Yeah.
there's no way
40,
that there's not
50,000
a
grand on
huge
top of-
markup on cars and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand. Like maybe a new pickup truck costs like maybe $15,000 actual to produce. Why is it $90,000?
Because they're marking it up crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't
Like,
make any sense.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably less than that actually, in metal and plastic and electronics and wires and shit.
But I think a lot more people are going to start striking in different businesses because of that, and I think that's why they are. That's why it started out with like UPS. That's why it's them now, and like there will be the next because it's just out of control. If inflation is they're only giving you a raise at 3%, but inflation's gone up 12%. Like that's insane. That there's no way you can afford it. Yeah.
Only 13,000 have stopped work so far. They staged select walkouts at plants in Missouri, Michigan, and Ohio with threats of war
dude,
to
what's
follow.
gonna happen to Michigan
It's the
as a
first time in
threats of
UAW
war
history
follow.
that
Dude,
it
is
struck all
Michigan
three of
still a
America's
state?
Unionized automakers at
damn,
once.
man.
I'm just asking because as far as I know, they don't even got clean water.
What are they gonna do? Like,
they're a third world country.
It's all they have. I know. I mean, it's like the world.
To a base pay
There's
of
a
more
lot
than
of pissed off
$80,000 a year, not including overtime or profit sharing
Great,
bonuses.
they're going to get their money and
But
it's
the
going to come
union is
back to
demanding
normal again. But then
40%
vehicles
during
are
the
still going to be
life of the contract
$90,000 and
seeks to
unaffordable
reverse
to anybody.
concessions
People are
that
still
it
going to
made
lease
back
and
when GM
wallop the
and
shit
Chrysler
out of them.
faced bankruptcy
Get
and
sued.
needed federal bailouts
You know,
in
and they
order
don't
to
have the money to get
survive.
sued. So
The
it just
highest
so happens
paid
in
of
our
the big
country
three
after 7
CEOs,
years,
GM, Mary
you
Barra.
can file bankruptcy.
This
and
is the
start over no
CEOs
matter
of
what you-
Ford right here. Mary Barra makes $29 million.
I think she has some cash to spare to like feed a couple people.
Right.
Yeah.
I
She got
feel that.
McDonald's money.
Yeah. That's they're eating.
Yeah, okay, these guys are taking money. Yeah, okay.
Carlos
and they're patting their
Tavares,
pockets. Well, look.
24.8.
Look at that guy's hair. He deserves 21 million.
Farley.
Oh, Jim Farley, man. Change your name for 21 million a year. Fuck. Jesus. You know what I mean?
Dude, he's out here selling brake pads, dude.
I
That's
mean,
how
like,
you-
look at you. Like, how much fucking money
Straight
do you
from
need?
Ohio.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
If I got $100 in the bank, I'm fucking proud. I'm like, shit, yeah, I can go to McDonald's. Like, yes.
Yes.
All right, I could feed myself today or whatever, you know what I mean? So I think it's sickening, it's gross, and obviously they're striking, but they're going to hurt themselves, they're going to hurt the people around them, they're going to hurt their housing, they're going to hurt everything about where they live, why they live, and it's what do you do after that? And once it all goes to shit, what, move out of Michigan? Then what?
Right.
What's the other work up there?
Well, to end this show,
Fix
with
snowmobiles,
my
man.
buddy.
Are we ending? Is it over?
No, I have.
What, you got
I
that
have
done?
some videos we're gonna go through.
Oh, yeah,
just
yeah,
my
sure.
picks of the week.
Oh, yeah, I'll sit there and talk some shit.
Some of
Like,
it's
what do you-
very random. Some of it,
Oh,
it has
God.
a point. Some of it just doesn't.
No,
because
no.
this is no outlet, baby.
Dude, don't you dare show a fucking fart video. Swear to God.
Okay. This is a video of a lady that found this little kitten on the side of the road.
Yeah, finds out it's a panther.
Finds out it's a fucking panther.
She nurses it? She breastfed it?
Yes.
No way.
Herself.
She breastfed herself.
That's right. And then by the middle of the video, you got to realize, yeah, you got to get rid of that thing because it'll
Yes, dude.
fucking kill you.
It was sitting there already tasting the dog.
But if you raise a panther from the time it's a small kitten and you breastfed it and
she's an
everything,
idiot.
you don't think it would have like a
You should have
bond?
got rid of that already. Now, once it gets to a certain size where it could like really screw you up.
But maybe you do train it with food. It just eats like.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's great. I've seen people that are like, no, they're like, hey, look at my pet raccoon. That thing will still fuck you up. I don't
Hell
care.
yeah, dude.
It'll destroy your furniture. It's still a
Who were you talking about last week? I
animal.
couldn't remember their names. Siegfried and Roy. Is that what it is?
Siegfried and Roy.
Okay, it's special. Look, she's living in an area where she can get away with it. Nobody, like the neighbor, didn't call the police and be like, man, a goddamn panther on my fence again. Like, no, you can't fucking do that around here. But okay, she got away with it. Cool, that's kind of awesome. But it looked like it's some other third world country.
This video is pretty neat. So if you pay attention, this is some kids hanging out in class.
When he started what at the camera?
You see this?
We can't because you gotta drop the thing so we can see this. There you go.
See him?
Oh, I gotcha.
So he was like hugging on this little girl from the front.
Wait, what? There was something before he pointed?
Oh no.
Yes, dude.
Dude,
Oh,
we
it's
totally,
right-
I
it's
totally
right.
missed it.
It's in the front of the video. Now you point at the camera. Wait, where's he hugging on a little girl? Where? It's coming.
Oh, he's like, this thing's on? All right, got you. Now I'm here with you.
He's like, why don't you turn that off?
He's like, y'all got a camera in this motherfucker?
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, so this is a trend on TikTok.
That
also,
wasn't his kid.
A lot
then.
of kids are catching teachers doing some wild.
That wasn't
shit.
his kid. That I thought it was just like he was congratulating his kid.
Oh,
So it was his student.
That's somebody's daughter.
And he was he looked like he had wifed that girl up.
Right.
Like, gotcha.
Holding her marriage style.
Yeah. Which
All right.
is, I don't know, as a teacher.
Okay,
like,
that was fucked up. Because I thought maybe like it was edited, like she fell on the floor and he picked her up, or the ice skating. I have no idea what's going on.
He was giving her, what is it? Not the Heimlich where you're standing behind him. You do it. Is that the Heimlich?
Yeah. I mean,
So hold on, let this camera focus.
And then it'll jump on and land.
This
and go, whoop.
right here is in I forgot what the name of it is. This spider actually
fucks people up.
No, it's the design of Spider-Man. It is the actual design of it. That Spider-Man costume is a real spider.
Do you think people are out here trying to get bit by that spider?
Dude.
I mean,
that was all of the comments on this video.
He's good. He's a mosquito.
Yeah.
killer.
Dude, so
He's good.
hold on.
Leave him around.
Yeah.
He'll eat mosquitoes. He'll eat all the bad.
Well,
bugs.
no, if he's outside, he lives. If he's inside my house,
he
that
gets inside-
motherfucker
he's
gets
getting
stomped.
smushed. Yeah, I said that, yeah.
Sorry.
Yep. Bye-bye.
I'll let you live if you're running across the driveway, but don't come in my house.
Yeah, bye-bye. Yeah, you're walking on me while I'm sleeping? Nope.
Right. Not
Nope.
eating any spiders this year. I'm going to kill them all.
She's just looking up like random shit. Or just, oh, here we go. The Spider-Man. Yeah.
Am I looking up just random shit?
Oh, my God. It's a conspiracy theory. Hey, look.
It is a conspiracy theory.
I mean, Stan Lee, he was a genius. You know what I mean? He fucking...
Oh, I should have wrote it down.
Drug addict.
earlier.
I mean,
Right.
you gotta understand, like, you know, fuck. If anybody says who's your favorite actor in the whole world, I would say Mel Blanc. Fucking Bugs.
I thought you were going to say Stan Lee
No,
and
man.
his
Bugs
cameos,
Bunny.
like where he just says
No.
one line, like,
No.
favorite one. Like,
Mel Blanc, the guy who did Bugs Bunny and all those voices for those cartoons. I mean, it was just one man standing in a room, and that room was all echoey and a wooden floor with a microphone and his scripts,
Oh,
and just
man.
that guy in there going fucking ballistic, you
Yeah.
know. And he made all those. I mean, he acted out every single like. I mean, all kinds of voices.
Hell yeah.
Different voices. I mean, just him.
What is
sitting
that, acting?
I mean, yes, yeah, that's acting. I would say because I mean, even though you only heard him,
Give me your best voice.
No,
If you could make a cartoon character right now, what would he sound like?
I don't have any. You
Let me know. Put me there.
I don't have any.
What does he look like? Does he smell bad?
Probably.
Mister, he touched me.
You can only imagine what that room smelled like. It's probably loaded up on coffee, cocaine, cigarettes, and a microphone. And they gave him a script, and they're just like, I mean, he did Yosemite Sam. He did all these, well, blow me down, all that crazy shit. I mean, the dude just made up all that stuff and had characters and all these actors and different people in his head.
So,
And-
do you pay attention to the fight world at all?
I don't even think he had headphones on. He was just going for it.
Just going.
Do you guys pay attention to the world stage of fighting?
Not really. I mean, sometimes through like Jason Ellis because he's Hawk Wolf and everything. He used to be he was a fighter for a little
Yeah.
while. He was doing boxing. He dipped his thing in it for like Ellis Mania and all that.
I always thought all those
But-
videos are cool. He'd
No.
be beating up like 36 people and then jump on his skateboard and do a kickflip. Like,
Yeah.
what up?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Like
So
Mike
it's
Valley.
Not
Yeah, Mike
really.
Valley,
I don't follow who it is. It'd be like, hey man, you into wrestling? I'd be like, I used to be, but then it's like I went to a few wrestling.
Well,
things.
the UFC, every now and then they get a guy that's in there whooping shit. This dude just beat who they call the GOAT of the middleweight class.
I didn't even know who the hell it is.
His name is Sean Strickland.
Okay.
This dude is widely hated because he openly says, I used to be a Nazi when I was a kid. I used to be like super crazy. I robbed people. I had a terrible life. He exposes everything about himself, but he's like, I'm a changed man now, and what I want to do is be a world-class fighter. He just beat Israel and Adesanya, which is regarded the best, for the title over the weekend.
Well, people are still pissed about his past.
Well, they're pissed about how he acts.
And you're about to find out.
You now holding that belt that says you're the baddest man at middleweight
Yeah.
on the planet. What do you think about that?
Yeah, thank God for child abuse, right? Fuck yeah. Let's go childhood traumas and repressed memories.
I hear
you.
ya.
Fucking, you really, you got me to where I needed to be, man. Like, fucking dad, you're fucking awesome, man. All of the years of abuse, you really...
I think every man thanks his father for
You
being
really
abusive
made me
at
the
one
man
point.
I
He's
had
like,
to
thank
be
you for being
today."
that asshole.
I don't fucking know, you guys. I'm just happy that this fucking.
You can tell he
world
was
has a
having
place.
fun with it. You know what I mean? You can tell he was just bullshitting, but you know.
Right.
But you know
Shortly after that clip, he
Yeah.
says, "We need to get, as Americans, we need to get women back in that damn kitchen. And us men, we need more money." Dude, it's so wild.
he's definitely like, 30 years off. You know what I mean? Of like, the way people acted and shit like that.
he
where it was like,
pretty much had an Al Bundy speech up there.
Nice. And then stuck his hand in his
where
pants
people
and
that
ate
were
a
in
tang
charge,
sandwich.
where people in charge would sit there and just give a nod to it, like, yeah, man,
Did you say a tang sandwich?
Yeah, isn't that from that show, the tang sandwich? Like, you'd always put
Oh,
the tang on
tang
the
sandwich, yeah.
Yeah, was that from that show?
No, it was probably like Eddie Murphy Raw or something, or like
I don't know.
or
Pull the
one of
clip.
those
No, I'm just kidding.
where all they could afford was tang sandwiches.
Yeah,
Like
but I
some
think that was the
comedians,
joke on that show, too.
Yeah.
Like, because they couldn't afford food.
Yeah.
This is the next big thing in fighting. So this dude is from Africa, and he was the heavyweight champion of the UFC about a year ago.
Okay.
He left the UFC because they weren't paying him enough money, he said. He said,
That guy, the dude on the left?
On your right.
All right. The dude on the left probably lost. That dude looks fat as fuck.
He is the world
He don't
champion of boxing.
No, he don't look like fit at all. Like,
They regard him as the best hands-down boxer of all time.
dude, I feel like I just walked up there. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
what is so
That's
astounding.
crazy. Yeah.
That's so astounding about this guy.
Butterbean did look like he was in shape, and then Ellis fought him, and he fucking that dude could hit. Like that dude could fucking, he's got power.
This guy's known as the Gypsy King.
Butterbean actually lost a bunch of weight right now. He looks
Yeah.
skinny as fuck.
I know,
like
but
an
when
alien.
he was big, Ellis fought him, and he was just like,
because you got 400 pounds
yeah,
behind
yeah.
anything.
When he
like,
connected,
you're wrecking
it was
shit.
like, he goes, dude, it was like a wall hitting you, man. It's like, it's one thing these older boxers don't lose.
Now
is
that's
the-
what they say about this dude from he's from Morocco in Africa,
Yeah.
and he fought his way into France. He ended up getting arrested 3 times in Africa going into he was coming from a different country. He swam a raft over to Morocco 3 times. They kept on catching him and dropping him off in the desert so he could die. And he kept on walking back and getting another boat and another cell phone and made his way in eventually.
He deserves what he's got coming to him.
He flew
you know?
to France, he wanted to be a boxer when he started.
Sure.
So what he does is gets convinced in the UFC, becomes the world champion quick. He beat up Stipe Miocic. That's our local fighter.
Oh, that was him?
That was him that beat
it's all a
He
mind
beat up
thing,
Stipe
man.
and then quit the UFC. He went over to boxing, and now he's fighting the Gypsy King. This guy they say he's the best fighter of all time in boxing.
That's the poster child for Burger King, for real.
Have a feel of that.
I don't know why they didn't hire him.
Look, he's saying
Try
grandma.
it, son, you'll like it.
That shit's insane, dude.
This is the most athletic
Like,
body
that
in
shit
the
just
world.
looks like a regular dude.
He said that's the most athletic
High-performance
body in the world.
After me, yes.
No, number
me, you
one.
are athletic.
Grey as a badger, fat as a pig.
Did he lose?
They haven't
I'm
fought. They're
still the
fighting next
dominant
month.
one.
Oh my god, dude! I'm getting this
Little
one. I
man.
want to see. I never knew
Why
there
you
was a
so
dude like
small,
that. Like,
Francis?
that's a dude representing us, our people. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Yeah, this is crazy.
Look
This
at the
is
size of that guy's neck on the right, and he's laughing. He's just like, man, because
dude. This guy is a
Yeah.
monster. He was in
I
the
know.
last Jackass movie and punched. Forgot what dude is the dude
Yeah.
that's missing the tooth. Dave something.
Danger Dave.
Danger Dave. He punches him in the stomach and
dude.
destroys this
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah,
This
I
dude's
wouldn't
built.
do that for any
when
money.
he was like 8 years
That
old,
guy looked like he'd kill you.
when he worked when he
Yeah.
was 8 years old, he had to work in a salt mine, and I think he just shoveled salt for years and
Yeah.
years and years.
Yeah.
And the dude became a gargantuan. He's got that childhood super muscle.
Yeah, I know.
So that's coming up next month. Sports are getting very exciting right now. We got Jake Paul coming up soon, fighting the same guy that beat up the other boxer, KSI, I believe. Or no, his brother. His brother lost to this guy, so now the older brother is going to try to fight him. And that is that guy's little brother, Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is the big
okay, I
fat
know
dude
that
from,
name,
from
yeah.
UK. He's the Gypsy King. His little brother's been fighting the Paul brothers. So they got that one coming up.
Hell
It's
yeah.
going to be a fun little fight week. But with that being said, thank you, Steve, for coming in, sharing your music, your life, your history. Do you have anything coming up? Anything you want to promote?
Not really. I mean, all the bands that I've been trying to play with, to get off to a false starts, and then down the line would be Lucifer's List. We had a band together, played one show. That was it. And then I'm doing Turbines of Tallahassee with my friend Kyle. It's just me and him. Like I said, I was playing organ and playing
Turbines of Tallahassee. Did
Yeah.
you convert to join that band?
The other one that we're doing would be 70 Pound Hound. It's a 3-piece where I'm on drums, sing.
Where can everyone
Kyle on
find
guitar.
your stuff online?
For right now, I was thinking about like starting an actual horse production YouTube channel and just start purging all my hard drives of just everything I have. It would be like just music, like I said.
I think that'd be a good idea, dude. Start getting it out.
So yeah, I just started recording stuff live, and it just became easier and better because trying to get people together to build a project, like come over and work on your guitars today, or that kind of stuff. So it.
Well, for the time being, everybody watching, everybody listening, go ahead and when he releases it, I'll be sure to promote it here on this show.
Absolutely.
We will see you guys next week. This has been No Outlet Live, baby.
We'll see you next time. This has been No Outlet Live.
Alien shit.